On the back end, Parker Gavlis and Kyler Wall, and former Swamp Rabbit netminder Dryden McKay between the pipes. The Swamp Rabbits counter, Dennis Smirnoff, Keaton Mastrodonato, and Neil Shea up front. On the back end, Tim Lovell and Michael Mastrodomenico making his pro debut, and between the pipes, Pierce Charleston. 20 minutes ticking away. Mastrodomenico already gets his first touch as a pro and sends the puck deep behind McKay's net. Puck worked around by Gavlis, up the wall to Chongmin Lee. Lee through the neutral zone to Parker Lindauer, and the Bison come in onside. Puck is worked back to Shane Ott, right side, hammered off the puck by Keaton Mastrodonato, and the puck is sent back down left side boards. Taken over by Lee to the corner for Ott. Frenetic exchange of possession. Puck eventually comes to Keaton Mastrodonato. Worked off the boards to Michael Mastrodomenico. Mastrodonato to Mastrodomenico is not going to get old anytime soon. Mastrodonato with the lane, takes it, and he throws it off the leg pad of Dryden McKay. Back comes the puck to Parker Lindauer, and the Bloomington Bison try to exit, and they do so out through neutral ice. Lindauer takes it at his own blue line, threads it out of the reach of his intended target of Grant Porter. Swamp Rabbits go back the other way. Jake Percival, also in his pro debut, wraps around to the net front, backhand kicked away by McKay, and the puck taken back by the Bison out through neutral ice, and it's Percival who throws it back to Tim Rigo. Rigo finds his man, it's O'Hara. A minute 10 gone by, scoreless first period. We have our first penalty minutes of the night. It looks like it's going to go against the Swamp Rabbits as they were the last to touch up. Interference, I believe, the signal with holding with 18:48 left in this scoreless first period. And Jake Percival is going to sit for his first 2 minutes of his pro career.
You're right, partner. I caught the call wrong as well. I thought it was holding. It was interference. I tell you, you're not going to beat McKay on those times. We saw him here. He moves well in the net, and maybe one of the best moves is when it is behind the net and he goes side to side. He's able to seal up that close post. And now we're going to go back on the PK. Pretty clean game yesterday. We're going to need another clean game to beat Bloomington. They're just going to be all over the place.
72 seconds into the game, Jake Percival guilty of interference, and the Swamp Rabbits go to their first Arthrex penalty kill of the game. O'Hara pressures Shane Ott, takes it inside his own zone. Ott safely behind McKay's net, tries to quarterback the power play up the ice. That now has 105 seconds left on it. Chongmin Lee throws it back in his own zone, and he links up with Rico Ishida. Ishida over to Aiden McDonald, the former Swamp Rabbit. He's onside. Ishida off the back wall, worked around to Lee. Lee keeps it in the zone. Pass back to the blue line. Ott throws it to the wall. Has an option on the play in Lindauer. Lindauer back to Ott. Through traffic, blockered away by Charleston, and the Swamp Rabbits clear it out as far as Ott, just outside their own blue line. 18:05 to go. Scoreless first period. Back come the Bison. It's Ishida on the left wall. Ishida throws it for McDonald behind the net. McDonald around the horn. Comes to Ott. Back to Ishida with a shot knocked away by Charleston. But the rebound's in, and they score. It's a power play goal. Chongmin Lee picks up the rebound in point-blank range. And with 17:53 left in the first, the Bison strike first and take a 1-0 lead.
You know, we had kind of talked about this last night. When you shoot it with pace against a goalie and you get it against his pads, the rebound is going to pop out, and sometimes it pops out 10 to 15 feet from the goalie. It's exactly what happened. Pierce made the save, great save. It came with such velocity, it popped out. If you're the Rabbits, the D, you got to clear that out. It went right to the Bloomington one, and an easy shot into the back of the net.
Chongmin Lee gets his 9th of the season, one of 2 South Koreans on this team. He calls Seoul, South Korea his home. That is his 9th goal of the year and his 3rd by virtue of the power play. 17:40 to go in the first, and an early 1-0 lead for the Bison, and back to hockey we go. Brad Morrison for Lou Felix Denis. Pass to the wall, shot gets blocked, and the Swamp Rabbits exit quickly. Ben Poisson out through neutral ice, gains the red line, flings it down to the left corner. Brendan Datema, the former Atlanta Gladiator, on his horse, beating to the puck, comes to Rigo, he scores! Tim Rigo, seconds later, beats McKay under his glove, and with 17:21 left in the first, we are square and one aside.
Boom, Rigo comes strong, and we've talked about this, that first and second shift after a goal is scored, I think is always the acute shifts. Those are the ones that the other team is trying to score. All 5 skaters for Bloomington were overloaded on one side. That puck popped out to Rigo, and he was able to bury it against McKay, and that's how you beat him. He went right above the pads on that glove side, that left hand, and we got a tie score, partner.
32 seconds later, partner, if you blink, you miss it. And Tim Rigo has number 5 in his first full rookie season. Back to hockey we go. out at the red line, taken over by Aiden McDonald. Puck takes a bounce away from the paraphernalia of Josh Zary, and it's worked back defensively to Kyler Wall of the Bison. Wall sends it off a body and sends it deep behind the net. Michael Mastrodomenico goes back to work for the Swamp Rabbits. Mastrodomenico denied passage out at his blue line. Puck is turned over, taken back, and a shot kicked away by Charleston. Rebound collected by Zary, off the glass, safely out to the red line, and the Bison recover control. Out it comes to McDonald with 16:45 to go in the first, all square at one, and a shot from Zach Fairmouth, formerly of the Greensboro Gargoyles, gets deflected and goes into the mesh and out of play. 16:41 left in the first. We're all tied at one. Chongmin Lee's 9th of the year on the power play at 2:07 from Rico Ishida and Shane Ott gave the Bison a 1-0 lead. 32 seconds later, Rigo's 5th of the year from Ben Poisson and Caden Gall.
You know, Matthew before the game, dropping wisdom, said, Dad, I'm going to listen for you to say these names out on the air tonight. I said, it's not going to happen. I can't get them out with this Southern draw, and I am sure I would screw them up. But, brother, you're rolling through those like the second language. Look at you go.
Blocker side of Pierce Charleston we go. Face-off won by the Bison. Shot gets deflected on the play. That was Sullivan Mack who put it on from the slot. Back now to Joe Prouty off the back wall. Prouty wards off one to Jake Murray. Backhands it, open area. Keaton Mastrodonato flung off the glass, out through neutral ice. Shea busts through, but it's collected by Nikita Sedov. Sedov up the far wall, can't get around his Russian countryman and Denis Smirnov. Puck taken back by the Bison. It's Denny Gore through the neutral zone. Gore with speed, comes in onside, takes it to the left, slashes down low, finds Datema off the blue line, off of Charleston's leg pad. Swamp Rabbits able to force it on out in front of the benches. Lost in front of the Swamp Rabbits bench and collected by the Bison. Sullivan Mack takes over for Bloomington with less than 16 minutes to go in the first. All square at one aside. Prouty takes his time, flings it up ahead for Mastrodonato. Mastrodonato waits at his own blue line, then moves his feet to the red line, sent on deep. Smirnov gives chase as Mastrodonato goes for a change. Puck almost turned over to Brackett in a fortuitous area, and then it is. Brackett had a man off the blue line. It was Percival. Another try inadvertently blocked by Smirnov, trying to redirect it on net. The Bison still can't exit. Puck turned over to Brackett, sent down low, out of Smirnov's reach. And finally the puck is played up and carried on out by Chongmin Lee. 15:20 to go. First period, we're all square at one. And back comes Rigo, the goal scorer, behind Charleston's net up the wall.
Some nasty turnovers down there. Just could not get the puck to the right person. Boy, Brackett again was being a nuisance to the other team.
Puck pinballing around, finally comes back to the Bison. Nifty maneuver at the blue line, entering in Gavlis to the slot. It's Lindauer, couldn't get a clean shot off. Puck is worked high in the zone. Kyler Wall keeps possession for the Bison. Lou Felix Denis inside the blue line. Brackett finishes a check. Puck comes down the wall, centered on the play. That was intended for Mikhail Abramov. Behind the Swamp Rabbits net, Abramov with Percival all over his backside. Abramov tries to ward him off, switches down on the right side, has an option from behind the net. Puck is centered, intended on the play for Brad Morrison. He couldn't get clean possession for a shot. Denis back to work, goes to Abramov from distance, and he scores. Mikhail Abramov somehow found a way to get that shot from the far wall over Charleston's shoulder. And with 14:27 left in the second, the Bison take the lead back at 2-1.
We're going to see the tech replay right here. I'm not convinced that wasn't deflected. I don't know if it was deflected or not, because it took a little bit of a knuckleball shot over the right shoulder of Pierce Charleston, and that's goal number 2. One thing that we have found, and we see already with Bloomington, is they are baked with speed. They have got a lot of speed in this team.
Face-off won by the Bison as we resume. Sung-Jae Lee sends it off a body and deep into Swamp Rabbit territory. Puck worked off the back wall, sent up the near side for Ben Poisson. Poisson couldn't feather it out. Caden Gall dispossessed. Poisson, another try, goes behind the net and finds Tim Lovell. Lovell with the head fake, button hooks back, turns to his forehand, links up with Galt with a backhand. Connor Milburn and now Mastrodomenico. Mastrodomenico sends it down into the right corner. The first one to it, Rico Ishida. Up the right side boards in the attacking zone. Milburn comes out with it to the blue line. Mastrodomenico threads it down to the slot. Pinballs off of skates. And Mastrodomenico has it back in front of the benches. Taken over by Tim Lovell. 13:45 to go. First period. Bloomington has the lead back at 2-1. Parker Gavlis got a piece of it in the net front. Good call on the deflection partner. The assist from Mikhail Abramov and Lou Felix Denis at 5:33.
It was a long shift, too. We were really out there probably for that extended time, and that's when the legs get tired, especially on a back-to-back game. You got to have quick shifts. That'll kill you in the second period.
13:20 to go. First period. Bison up 2-1. Here comes Ryan O'Reilly busting in. O'Reilly got by his man, couldn't pull the trigger for a shot. John Parker Jones forces the turnover, fights for it on the left side boards of the attacking zone. Puck comes free to Josh Zary, hard rimmed all the way around to the right. Joe Prouty, nice maneuver, has control, returns fire with his forehand down the wall. Parker Jones puts his man into the boards. O'Reilly throws his weight around on the neighboring county, and the puck finally worked on back out through center, denied passage by Zary. Back to Parker Jones, quickly resets with his defense. Murray around the horn to Prouty with 12:45 to go in the first. The Bison up 2-1. 3 goals between both combatants in 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Very quick back-to-back, and it's interesting to watch a team that we don't see often. They are very, very quick to get into the zone, and when they're in the zone, they do a good job of keeping it in the zone, passing and really kind of driving the puck down low.
Gavlis pass intercepted by Rigo. He was in a delayed offside position. Not much he could have done with it. Bloomington comes back with control. That's Kyler Wall. Threaded out to Chongmin Lee. Lee comes in onside. Lee has to maneuver around Parker Berg. Puck goes off the back wall just outside the trapezoid. Smeared off on the back check. Plays it for Mastrodonato. Mastrodonato slips it in an open area for Smirnov. He gets by one. Smirnov accelerates onside to the wing. Berg waits, tied up, couldn't get a shot off. Then he does, and McKay stones it on the near post. And the stop comes with 11:54 to go in the first, and it remains 2-1 Bison.
Kind of a nifty little shot by Berg there. It really kind of caught him off guard, and we'll go to timeout.
We'll go to a timeout and come right back. Swamp Rabbits down 2-1 on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Life gets hectic, but with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward John Parker Jones, and this is Greenville Swamp Rabbits hockey on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
As a special thank you to fans tuning into this game on Flow Sports or Palmetto Sports and Entertainment, we're offering a special ticket offer to our viewers of $25 tickets with no fees. But you gotta hurry because the offer ends when the game ends. So make sure you visit swamprabbits.com/Palmetto Sports or scan the QR code on your screen. 11:50 to go. First period, Bison up 2-1. Shot from distance may have been deflected by Smirnov. Kicked away by McKay. Bloomington quickly back the other way. Porter finds a man. Shot. Score. It's Denny Gore in transition who goes under the bar. And with 11:37 left in the first, the Bison have a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that one was not deflected. That was just a shot with pace, almost right on top of the dot. Went top shelf. And if you ask goalies, that is one of the tougher ones to do because when that puck is rising, you're trying to match the speed. That would have been his blocker side, and that's a tough one to do. And we're down 3-1, and Bloomington has come out with something to prove. They're in the race, and they have just let the Rabbits know they're not coming here just for a walk in the park, but down by the Reedy Park, they're here for a win.
Percival plays it out of brackets reach. Puck bounces down to Lou Felix Denis. For Kyler Wall on the back end. Parker Gavlis back to Wall. Wall through the neutral zone. Pass deflected by Percival. And it goes out of play into the stands. 11:22 left in the first. 3-1 is now the Bison lead. Denny Gore from Grant Porter at 8:23. They might have to add another assist out there on the back end for Parker Gavlis. Let's get to know Jake Percival. Making his professional debut tonight, played at the University of Connecticut all 4 years of college, was a teammate of Hudson Shandor's for 3 of them. And with Shandor, helped lead the Huskies to their first ever NCAA tournament appearance last year. They repeated again, falling in the first round to number 3 national seed Michigan State, a narrow 2-1 finish.
And they might could have used them against the NCAA basketball game. UConn got it handed to them.
I think that might be a sore subject for both Percival and Shandor. So
I didn't bring that up. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. 11 minutes to go, first period. Swamp Rabbits staring down the barrel of a 3-1 deficit in their first ever meeting against the Bloomington Bison. Here comes O'Hara. Has a trailer. Brackett waits and he couldn't get a shot off. Brackett with the retrieval. Looking to the net front. Has Percival. Percival hacks it off the backside of the net. O'Hara pursues to the corner. Brad Morrison away from him to Denis. Denis backpedals behind his own net. Almost turned it over to Percival. O'Hara finishes his check. Denis wards him off. And he finds a man up the near side boards. That's Parker Gavlis. 10:25 to go. First period. Bison up 3-1.
Might be one of those times, we were talking off air, you want to shoot it off the pads for your partner. It's a little bit of a skill set to use geometry to get it off the pads, to get it to a trailing partner to get that rebound goal.
Joe Prouty quickly in transition to Ben Poisson. Poisson reverses back. Prouty with a shot. It got through with a rebound. Couldn't get corralled. That was Caden Galt right there. He couldn't get a stick free from pressure. Back to Aiden McDonald through neutral ice. He takes a bump and sends the puck in. Prouty almost lost his stick in the stanchion. He recovers it. It might be broken. It doesn't seem like it right now, so he continues to play on. In the meantime, it's Prouty who chases down. Big reverse hit on McDonald, who's a big fella himself. Worked up the near side boards. Kept in on the sequence by Sung Jae Lee. And then that's turned over up the near side. Connor Milburn out to Galt, who plays it off of Riku Ishida and deep into Bison territory. 9.5 to go. First period, and the Bison lead by 2.
Yeah, Prouty had a hit on that stanchion by McDonald. 6'4", 220. All of that weight on that stick.
Chongmin Lee, half lap around the Swamp Rabbit zone. Lee up to the blue line, cleanly intercepted on the play. Swamp Rabbits come back the opposite way. Zary leaves it for O'Reilly. O'Reilly slams the brakes, leaves it for Zary behind the net. Zary, east-west to the blue line for Rigo. Rigo to the slot for O'Reilly, tried to leave it back for Zary. Handcuffed on the retrieval. Rigo has it to the net front of the pass, got blocked on the play. A diving stop on the back end. And the puck comes back on out through center. That was Sung Jae Lee who thwarted the cross-ice pass. Puck takes a bounce inside enemy territory. Comes back to Lee behind the net. 8:45 to go. First period. Bison up 3-1. The Swamp Rabbits get a partial change and regroup in neutral ice.
So fun to see this game really expand across country lines, boundaries. And these Asian countries, Isu guy did a great job up in Ontario with us right now to see these Koreans and Japanese, and it's just interesting to watch this game grow internationally.
3 Asian players on this Bison roster, 2 from South Korea, 1 from Japan. And the puck comes back on out to the Bison. It's Grant Porter. Porter takes it left side of the Swamp Rabbit zone. Thrown to the blue line. Gore by 1. Gore by a second. In close range. And Charleston got a piece of it on the short side. Gore grabs his own rebound, takes it up the left boards, head fakes, maneuvers around. Gore drops it back to Datema, and he scores! Brendan Datema from inside the blue line with traffic fires it through, and with 7:59 left in the first, the Bison have 4, and the Swamp Rabbits have 1.
Yeah, Datema, we've heard that name before, and he kind of sunk down below that Arthrex. And partner, I believe we are going to see a goalie change right here.
And this is a 3rd professional debut on the night. Simon Latkutsi from Trenčín, Slovakia, out of the University of Nebraska, Omaha, immediately thrust into action.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I could see Coach Costello leaning over to Coach Payne, and they were discussing it. And we're going to see a goalie change, and here we go.
Well, how about that?
He is a right-handed goalie. Very interesting to watch him and warming up. So he's right-handed goalie, 5'11", 180. And he is mobile. And in warm-ups that we saw him, he was really mobile. Has a little bit of an unusual goalie stance. Bends over a lot, but has a lot of flexibility. And it's going to be interesting because he goes right to the frying pan against this Bloomington team.
Well, here we go. We'll learn about Mr. Latkutsi in just a bit. In the meantime, the puck comes back to the Bison from their own end out to center. It's Jake Murray worked up now for Ryan O'Hara. O'Hara rattles it in right to left behind Dryden McKay's net. Puck comes back up the near side boards. Taken over by Brad Morrison. Morrison can't advance it up the wall. Brackett in the fray. Puck comes loose. It's Percival. Jake Percival turns up to the blue line for Prouty and a shot. Got through traffic. McKay made the stop. It may have gone off a defensive body in the net front. Puck is still being fought for. Comes free and it just squeaks behind the net. Murray came in off the blue line. Not quick enough to get back to keep it. And the Swamp Rabbits have to re-enter. A fire sale change by the Bison. Here comes Prouty. And onside. Throws it down right corner. Takes a bump. Maneuvers. Shovels it up the boards out of the reach of Caden Galt. Puck bounces back to Ben Poisson. The Swamp Rabbits try to attack with less than 7 minutes to go in the first. Trailing 4-1 early with 3 unanswered goals for the Bison.
Good move by Galt. He did a little stick check on that back, coming like back checking, and picked it up right from Bloomington. And this is, I think, what Coach Costello wants us to see. What do you got? What kind of fight do you have in you? What kind of fire is burning in your belly in these last 6 games? And we're going to test the metal here.
Swamp Rabbits back in control in their own zone. Parker Berg to Tim Rigo with 6.5 to play in the first. The Bison with a 4-1 lead. The most recent goal, Brendan Datema from Denny Gore and Grant Porter. That gives Porter 2 assists in this period, and Denny Gore a goal and a helper. Connor Milburn inside the blue line, blockered away by McKay. And the rebound taken back by McDonald and carried out by the Bison. McDonald gains the red line and golf chips it down deep behind the net of Simon Latkutsy, making his professional debut. 6:05 to go, first period. Swamp Rabbits trail 4-1. Puck poked at the red line, intercepted. Sung Jae Lee jumps in onside, tied up by Mastro Domenico. Lee bumped off the puck, squeaked out to center, and he links up with Rico Ishida. Ishida back through neutral ice. Chongmin Lee to Shane on onside to the net front, had a man, puck crashes. Where is it? I think it stayed out.
Yeah, it's out.
Latkutsy got crashed into. Talk about a welcome to the pros. 5:45 left in the first. The Swamp Rabbits trail 4-1, and it looks like everybody's all right.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 people in the net. I don't know what's going on there. They finally get it. One of those people was JPJ.
We'll take a step aside to reset and come right back. Swamp Rabbits down 4-1 early on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
As the official medical providers of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is proud to support our hometown team. Whether they're playing at home in the Bon Secours Wellness Arena or on the road, their team is there taking care of the bumps and bruises of the game and keeping the Rabbits in peak condition. Their high-quality care isn't just for athletes. Life moves fast for all of us, and Bon Secours is here to help you stay healthy through it all. When you need expert, compassionate care, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is here for you and your family. Visit bonsecours.com to find primary care close to home. Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward Keaton Mastronato. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
By watching tonight's game, you have unlocked the Special Team Store online discount. Enter the code Palmetto, P-A-L-M-E-T-T-O, at checkout at swamprabbits.shop to redeem a special discount off your purchase. You know the drill by now. The offer ends when the game ends, and we've got 5:45 left in the first.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left in the first. 4-1. We dug ourselves a hole. Nothing like digging yourself a hole right off the bat. It's a little unusual game, a Thursday night, but you got to think that we're going to start to see some of these next season with the new collective bargaining agreement where you can't play 3 in a row, that they'll have these Thursday games maybe.
Chongmin Lee is 9th of the year on the power play. Got the Bison on the board at 2:07. 32 seconds later, Tim Rigo tied it from Ben Poisson and Caden Galt at 2:39. Parker Gavlis, a net front redirect at 5:33. Denny Gore at 8:23 made it 3-1. Brendan Datema through traffic at 12:01, a 4-1 count. Ryan O'Reilly back the other way, throws it off the back wall. Set up now by Josh Zary. Zary throws it down into the corner. Sung Jae Lee powers through John Parker Jones. Lee out to center, intercepted by Lovell. He blew out a tire at the red line and dives to keep it going in a forward progress motion. Back now to Sung Jae Lee through the neutral zone. Lee chips it on down deep for Chongmin Lee. No relation there as the pucks work back to the left side. Up the boards for Parker Jones. 5:08 to go, first period, 4-1. And there's a backhand try for the Bison. It's Sullivan Mack who got wide open in the net front, and with 5:03 left in the first, it's 4 unanswered and a 5-1 Bison lead.
Partner, it is just a shooting gallery right now. It is all over, and I don't know how it's happening, but these Bloomington players are just getting wide open. And that's a hard one to stop because the goal is a 1-on-1, and he did exactly what Mastro did to Papura last night. Made him bite and then went around that leg.
Simon Latkutsi in his professional debut, one of the first shots that he has seen. And Mac wide open to dance, makes it 5-1. Back to it we come. Swamp Rabbits inside their own zone. It comes to Jake Murray. Back in front of the benches for Joe Prouty. Prouty at the red line. Rims it all the way around to the left corner. Neil Shea in pursuit. Bumps his man into the boards. Dennis Smirnoff fights for it as well. 4:40 to go first period. 5-1 now is the Bison lead. And the most recent goal scored by Sullivan Mack. Puck comes back down to the slot area. Taken over on the play by Grant Porter. Porter sends the puck in deep. Prouty the first one to it right side. Prouty links up on the play with Murray, who's on his horse out through neutral ice. Murray onside, pulls the brakes on the right. His cross ice pass deflected, and it's poked all the way out by Porter back inside Swamp Rabbit territory. Latkutsi gives it a look. Murray slows it down with over 4 minutes to play in the first, and the Swamp Rabbits trail 5-1.
You know, there was a movie called The Replacements, and the coach, Gene Hackman, told the one guy to go get the ball. We need somebody just to get the puck and go score.
Offside against the Swamp Rabbits with 3:55 to go in the first. 5-1, the Bison with the lead. That was the legendary Bateman, the linebacker, played by John Favreau.
That's exactly right.
Who is a prominent director in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm glad you are picking up what I was laying down there.
On that note, we'll take a step aside and come right back. 3:55 left in the first on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Life gets hectic. But with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits defenseman Tristan DeYoung. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
2026-27 season ticket memberships are on sale now. Lock in your seats, get an exclusive member gift, save money, and secure your spot for another season of Swamp Rabbits hockey. Visit swamprabbits.com for more information. The Bison with a commanding 5-1 lead, 3:45 to go first period. Back comes the puck, out through neutral ice, taken by Mikhail Abramov. Thrown back on defense, Kyler Wall worked up to the neutral zone for Brad Morrison. Abramov throws it back. Kyler Wall carries it in over the blue line. Lou Felix Denis rims it around all the way to the near side. Taken on back by Abramov. Abramov thrown down into the corner. Puck rattles off of a skate, back up the near side boards. Denis takes over now, and then loses it to Tim Rigo. Rigo tried to thread it up the boards. Finally finds Jack Brackett, and the Swamp Rabbits exit. Brackett to the backhand of Jake Percival. Gains the red line, dumps it deep, and the Swamp Rabbits got a change with over 3 minutes to play in the first, trailing by a 5-1 count.
Yeah, I'm not sure the last time we've dug ourselves a hole this deep, this early.
Cross ice, puck comes on the play to Zach Fairmouth. Inside Swamp Rabbit territory. Puck now taken out by Connor Milburn. Threaded on up ahead for Caden Galt. Almost powered through two defenders, and he was stopped at the last second. Back out through neutral ice. Mastro Domenico to the red line. Pass intercepted by Fairmouth. He comes in onside from the left. Mastro Domenico puts him into the boards. Rattled around by Tim Lovell up to the left wall. Galt takes out through neutral ice. Galt gains the red line, flings it down right corner, takes a bounce off the glass. Sung Jae Lee up the boards and advanced on up and out on the play by Ilya Suligan. Swamp Rabbits go back to work. It's Joe Prouty with 2:15 left in the first, and the Swamp Rabbits down 5-1.
When you have this kind of a lead, it really changes the way that Bloomington can play this game. They can take chances when they want, and they can also play a really conservative defensively when they want.
Chongmin Lee with the steal, fires looking far post, and he missed Lakutsi's net. Back come the Bison inside their own zone. Nikita Sedov, the second leading scoring defenseman in the entire league, works it up to Shane Ott. Out in front of the Swamp Rabbits bench we go. Parker Lindauer backtracks into his own third, pressured by Ryan O'Reilly, gives it back to Sedov. Sedov for Lindauer inside his own third with 100 seconds to go in the first, and the Swamp Rabbits down 4. Back to Ott through neutral ice. The Bison onside. Jongmin Lee, who got the first goal of the entire game, throws it back down for Ott left corner. Murray puts him into the boards. A conglomeration of gentlemen forms now with the puck still pinned up against the boards. 80 seconds to go. 5-1 Bison with the lead. Puck comes back up the near wall to John Parker Jones. Threaded up and out to O'Reilly. Led on ahead for Josh Zary, who gets upended in the neutral zone by Brendan Datema. And then John Parker Jones almost throws him into the bench. We have a delayed call on the play. This is going to go against the Swamp Rabbits. At the next whistle, McKay out of his net for the extra attacker. Less than a minute to go here in the first. And the Bison with a 5-1 lead. Grant Porter gets by one. And it's finally touched up by Tim Rigo. And we have a halt in the action. And Mastrodonato didn't like the bump Rigo took after the fact.
No, he did not like it. And I don't know what the original penalty is going to be. And who's getting called? I guess it's going to be JPJ. I didn't catch the hand call there, partner. I was trying to look for the license plate. The referee made the call. But it'll be JPJ. It's probably roughing. I would guess it might be roughing.
I would imagine roughing. I didn't see a signal either, partner, but I would imagine roughing if I was a betting man.
You know, it's interesting. There's 9 shots on goal for Bloomington, 8 for us. So it's not like the ice has been tilted playing in one end the whole time. It's just that when we've opened the window, we cracked the whole window and the door and everything open so they can take a shot at the goalie.
Blocker side of Simon Lakutsi we go. The right shot netminder from Trenčín, Slovakia in his professional debut. Probably not how he drew it up in his dreams growing up in Slovakia.
19 minutes, 10 seconds.
Puck is played all the way down the full length of the ice, and the Bison come back up the playing surface. 35 seconds left in the first. The Bison on the power play for just over 100 more seconds. If they don't score in the next 30, time carries over to the start of period number 2. Lou Felix Denis drops back to set off at the blue line. Set off for Denny Gore, already working on 2 points. Back to set off. Point, left side, finds Grant Porter. Porter to Gore, inside the blue line, shadowed by Ryan O'Hara. Drop back, set off, cross ice on a hop, it's Porter. 10 seconds left. Porter to the blue line, set off, cross ice for Gore. Gore waits, backpedals, 3 seconds left. Gore down low, set off to the net front, intercepted by Rigo, and that is going to do it. 0-0 on the clock. And what was a high-flying start to this first period has turned into all Bloomington Bison. 5-1 their lead, and we still have 2 periods to go.
Yeah, that was a punch to the gut, that first period. And so we're going to go back and see if we can hit the reset button, come back in this second period, and start chipping away at this lead.
Look up at the video board to see our
It's not unheard of to come back from these, but you got to start chipping at it. You can't look at the 4 goal. You got to play like a 0-0 and see if you can get one of these back. In our ear, partner, we hear that Maine came back from a lead like this, and so we'll see if we can do the same thing.
And that's exactly right. The other night, the Maine Mariners were down 5-1 to the Adirondack Thunder, 4-0 actually after a period, and ultimately found a way to come back and challenge late. So we'll see if the Swamp Rabbits have that same challenge in them, but not the start that they had envisioned. A lot to unpack in the first 20 minutes in this first ever meeting head-to-head between the Bison and the Swamp Rabbits. We will keep it here as always. Start off our first intermission report. First ever meeting between the Bison and the Swamp Rabbits, the first of 3 games to be played over the next 4 days, with Game 2 coming on Saturday and the finale coming on Sunday afternoon. Thanks again so much for joining us tonight with my partner, Mr. Matt Caldwell. I'm Mark Finetti alongside you here on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network. As always, a privilege to be with you here on this Thursday night. A lot happened there in that first period. The Swamp Rabbits found a gear to tie it within 30 seconds. But then Bloomington just took over, simply put.
Yeah, then we found the woodshed, went behind it, got the proverbial butt kick in the last part of that period. And that's not what you want to see. And you got to change the tone. And it just felt like we had some really missteps, and leaving it really as a 1-on-0 against the goalie. And you got to tighten that up. So let's see what comes out in the second period. We're going to need it.
Jongmin Lee got things started for the Bison on the first power play of the entire game. There was a net front rebound. He was wide open to settle it down and backhand it in. He gave the Bison a 1-0 lead. 2:07 in, getting assists from Riku Ishida and Shane Ott.
Yeah, it went off right off the bat, and it was a good one, but we're going to see here really quickly, we responded to that. So right then it was a back and forth kind of a game.
32 seconds later, there's transition, and it's Tim Rigo who picks up the loose change up in the slot, rifles one by Dryden McKay's glove, and just like that, 32 seconds, we're square at 1 at 2:39.
You know, it's funny that goal happened because you're talking about last night where all of our players were overloaded to one side. They got that goal against us. The Ghost Pirates did. Same thing. The Bloomington overloaded to one side, and Rigo was right there and could bury it just right over McKay's pad. Nice shot. But all of a sudden, then they just turned the faucet on, and here we go.
2 goals scored in 2 minutes and 50 seconds shortly after the first one. Parker Gavlis, a net front redirect of a Mikhail Abramov shot that came at 5:33. And then at 8:23 in transition, Graham Porter finds Denny Gore, who rifles one under the bar. And if you blink, now it's 3-1.
Yeah, it's 3-1, and that's a dangerous lead, and that's when you got to respond, especially in the first period. And the response is not the response that we would have liked to got, but you could tell all of a sudden that Bloomington has this sense of urgency. We felt it for the first 20 minutes. They are here to win. They need to win. They want to stay in that hunt in the playoffs, and they're there. So you can tell that they have that sense of urgency.
2 more goals scored 2 minutes and 56 seconds apart. Brendan Datum up from inside the blue line. Fantastic puck movement. They find him. He rifles it through traffic and beats Pierce Charleston. And that prompts the insertion of Simon Latkutsy into this game, making his professional debut out of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. He unfortunately eventually gave up a goal to Sullivan Mack, who found himself wide open in the net front to Dangle at 14:57, and that's how we get to a 5-1 Bison lead.
Yeah, but appropriate song, Gap Band, you dropped the bomb on me. They dropped the bomb on us in the first period, but let's see if we can go with another Gap Band hit and then burn some rubber on them in the second period.
Shots on goal 9-8 in favor of the Bison. They're just shooting over 500%. They have both power plays in the game so far. They still have 1 minute and 11 seconds carrying over to the start of period number 2. The Swamp Rabbits have yet to get a man advantage, and I think that's the problem too. They haven't had the puck enough to start going to work to then draw penalties.
That's exactly right. You got to induce those penalties. They need to tighten up this PK, make sure they don't get this next goal. See if they tighten it up, but they've got to get it in the dirty areas. You know, induce those penalties, induce a hold, induce a roughing, something in there, but they cannot play. I think Bloomington has too much speed for us. They cannot play this track meet with Bloomington. They got to get in there and get in the hard work.
I know we're ones for cliches, not necessarily moral victories, partner, but you can't win a hockey game in 20 minutes. Thankfully, the Swamp Rabbits have 40 to try and climb back.
Absolutely, they really do. And again, I'm excited to see what some of the youngsters bring. We want to see what they can bring, but also these people that are also fighting for a roster spot the next year. Maybe not here, maybe here, but maybe other places. They need to pick that game up and really start playing. Bloomington has obviously come. They're still playing this season. We've got to bring that intensity. And I just thought after that second, third goal, that intensity just dropped off the shelf, and so we got to bring that back.
Bloomington has a game in hand on 2 of the teams that they are trailing in the midst of a 3-way tie for 3rd in the Central. Toledo and Fort Wayne have their spots already locked up. 3 and 4 still up for grabs between Cincinnati, Indy, and Kalamazoo. But the Bison only 3 points back of that 3-way tie. If they can pull out 2 points here, the only game being played tonight in the ECHL, by the way, that's a huge get going into the weekend.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So there's a lot of eyeballs on that. So it'll be interesting to see this next 40 minutes from both sides, how they respond. I can't believe I didn't get any comment about the Gap Band knowledge, partner.
I gave you a nod.
Oh, there we go.
I gave you a nod.
Right. I'm glad you like the Gap Band.
I mean, I didn't correct you, so that should have been a signal of I done good. On to the next one.
Yes, he does correct me a lot. Just saying.
On that note, we're going to take a step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport trip around the league. Our NHL affiliate, the Los Angeles Kings, have a massive tilt against the Vancouver Canucks tonight. A game in hand and a point out of the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and we'll tee up the action for the Ontario Reign Friday and Saturday. 4 games left, a home and home against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. We'll be right back in just a moment, continuing our first intermission report on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; VFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile option platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Whether you're recovering from an injury or just want to stay healthy, go to where the Greenville Swamp Rabbits go for care. Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is proud to be the official medical provider for our hometown hockey team. Bon Secours provides world-class care for athletes and families. From sports medicine to advanced treatments, Bon Secours has you covered from their AFC urgent cares, emergency care, and primary care physicians conveniently located throughout the upstate. It's time to get your care your way. Visit bonsecours.com to find compassionate care near you. Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flow Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flow Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv. Hey hockey fans, want to join a team that's making a difference in people's lives? Arthrex is hiring. They develop innovative technologies that help treat orthopedic sports injuries around the world and right here in your community. From elite athletes to weekend warriors, they care about helping people get back in the game, and so do their employees. If you're looking to make a difference and learn new skills, including machining and assembly, check out available jobs at careers.arthrex.com. That's careers.arthrex.com. No manufacturing experience required.
Life gets hectic. But with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
When it comes to your meeting, event, or gathering, McAllister's Catering has you covered. Choose from our fresh, flavorful sandwich trays, boxed lunches, salads for the group, spud bars, desserts, and more. Cater to the hungriest of crowds and the pickiest of eaters. You plan it, we'll cater it. At McAllister's, our sandwiches are piled high, our famous iced tea is always brewed fresh, and our salads, soups, and spuds have flavor packed into every bite. Come into your nearest location and experience it for yourself, or download our app for quick and easy online ordering. Sign up for rewards and get a free tea on us. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, hey hockey fans, want to join a team that's making a difference in people's lives? Arthrex is hiring. They develop innovative technologies that help treat orthopedic sports injuries around the world and right here in your community. Learn new skills in clean, high-tech environment with many exciting amenities and benefits, including a sign-on bonus, free lunch, free on-site medical care, attractive shift schedules, and on-site child care center. Check out available jobs at careers.arthrex.com. That's careers.arthrex.com. No manufacturing experience required. Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flow Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flow Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits defenseman Jacob Modry, and this is Greenville Swamp Rabbits hockey on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
A little bit of time before we start off period number 2 inside Bon Secours Wellness Arena.
Hey, before you go,
yeah,
they're having a stompers dance-off right now. and I want to see you break down the electric boogaloo.
You act as if I am versed in that realm of
breaking, man.
Activity.
There was breaking, and then there was the electric boogaloo too.
Goodness grief.
There you go. That's the dance off. We got all kind of crap happening here. Let's go around the league. What do you say?
Well, we are the only game going on in the ECHL tonight, so for all of those listening from across the landscape of the Premier AA Hockey League, we say hello, and I apologize for anything that comes out of this man's mouth. We will start our Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport trip around the league in the National Hockey League. They are not in action until 10:30 tonight Eastern time, but the LA Kings in a massive showdown against the Vancouver Canucks. A point back of the Nashville Predators. They have a game in hand on the Predators for the second wild card spot. Oh, and the Predators play the Mammoth tonight too, so we'll be watching that afterward.
Yeah, I mean, if statistics hold, the Kings, the Kings should beat Vancouver. I mean, that's who you want to play. They're in the bottom. They're already out. And then the Mammoth, you know, by the record, should beat the Preds. They're playing at home. But you never know. When it gets down to this time, it's almost like playoff hockey in those arenas.
Now, the Mammoth have not locked up their wild card spot just yet, but they are in the driver's seat with it. They have 88 points. They are 4 points clear of Nashville. They have 5 games left. Nashville has 4 to go, so that could be locked up in a few games, but even more so if they get that 4-point swing against the Predators.
Yeah, that one is the one to watch, but I tell you what, the LA Kings cannot scoreboard watch. They have got to beat Vancouver.
And the unfortunate part for the Kings is that last year, you played a game in Crypto.com Arena. Good luck if you won. Keep the puck because it only happened like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
This year is a complete role reversal. The Kings are dynamite on the road. They're 4 games under 500 at home.
Yeah, and they're funky. We talked about this last night, too. When you look at their regulation wins, they only have 19 regulation wins, and that is a statistical anomaly, as they say. Look at that. I broke out a multi-syllable word for you.
13 wins past 60 minutes this year, and 5 of them are in the shootout. So pretty wild what the Kings have. For what it's worth, the Kings' form isn't bad. 4-2-4 in their last 10, and they've won back-to-back coming into this game. The Ontario Reign, on the other hand, boy, are they in a dogfight for the Pacific Division title. They and the Colorado Eagles have 4 games remaining. Ontario, 2 points clear of Colorado. Got a massive win against them on Tuesday, their final head-to-head meeting. Ontario tomorrow starts a home-and-home at Toyota Arena in Ontario against the Coachella Valley Firebirds, while the Tucson Roadrunners visit the Mile High and take on the Eagles in Loveland. So that's Friday, Saturday. Both teams are in tandem the rest of the way. They will play next Friday and Saturday when the Reign at home hosts San Diego on Friday and Abbotsford on Saturday. Colorado hosts Calgary Friday, Saturday. The magic number for the division for Ontario is 7. So if both teams win out, Ontario wins the division. If the Reign win and Colorado stumbles, it is all in their hands.
Yeah, it really is. Again, they are in playoff hockey. Coach Lord has done a great job right off the bat with getting his team ready, and that was a big win they had the other night. We should not minimize that when they won it against Colorado. That was a big one because that one really kind of put a little bit of a cushion, if you will. If Colorado would have won that, then it would really been a lot of struggle to get to that. So we'll see, because right now the goal is to get a week off, right? And that's what they want to do.
And to my partner's point, in the AHL bracket, the Calder Cup playoffs, the Pacific Division out of 10 teams, 7 get in the playoffs. 2 place 7, 3 place 6, 4 place 5 in a best of 3 to get in the division semifinals. So if you get that coveted #1 spot, you don't have to throw caution to the wind in a 3-game series that if you stumble once, that's pretty much it. So you get a week to not have to worry about that, but most importantly, rest and recover.
You know, we talk about such a small league this is, about McKay and others, but Coachella Firebirds, their equipment manager is Sean Thornton.
Sure is.
Thornsey is out there. He was equipment manager with the Rabbits. Good dude, good guy. Wish him the best. Just wish that he would lose always to Ontario. But outside of that, wish him the best. And it is a small world. The ECHL, AHL really is a small family.
No doubt about that. We'll take a step aside when we come back. Period number 2 on the docket. Swamp Rabbits need a response. They trail 5-1 to the Bloomington Bison in their first ever matchup. We'll be right back on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Life gets hectic. But with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flo Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flo Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward Ryan O'Hara. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Moments away from the drop of the puck for period number 2. Quite an interesting turn of events in the first 20 minutes. The Swamp Rabbits and Bloomington Bison in their first ever matchup. And in those 20 minutes, the Bison ran away with a 5-1 lead. Bloomington starts the second period off, the first minute and 11 seconds on their second power play of the game. Thanks again so much for joining us tonight with my partner, Mr. Matt Caldwell. I'm Mark Benetti alongside you here on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network. As always, a privilege to be with you here on this Thursday night. You have to forget the first period even existed.
Right.
Turn this into a 40-minute hockey game.
That's exactly right, partner. You got to just forget it and chip away at it. We failed to mention we have another 4-man crew tonight. And I don't think they realized it was going to be a track meet in the first 20 minutes, but it was a track meet.
Those officials, by the way, Rocco Stakowiak, number 28, Mitchell Hardy, number 48. They have the orange bands on their sleeves and are calling the penalties tonight, of which they've only called 2. Joining them on the lines are Quinn Schaefer, number 49, and Kyle Gasperi, number 67. Bison come back up the ice through the neutral zone with 15 seconds gone by in the second period and immediately are denied entry. As the puck is dumped back to Dryden McKay, comes flying out of his net to play it before the goal line and the outside of his restricted area.
You like the restricted area?
I do.
Yeah, I know there's a change. It's been interesting how that's worked, and I've always wondered if they're going to change the size or change the dynamic of it.
Jack Brackett chips it by Lou Felix Denis. Puck comes all the way back to McKay. Sent off the back wall. Nikita Setoff now to Denny Gore. And Gore finds Denis, he's in onside. From the left, Gore takes it up to the high slot. Gore to his forehand, threads it down low for Denis. Lou Felix Denis behind the Swamp Rabbits net. Left back for Grant Porter. Porter from the left corner, shadowed by 2. Up to the blue line, set off, cross ice, finds Parker Gavlis. Gavlis to set off, one-timer knocked away by Simon Latgutsy. Latgutsy making his pro debut in relief. Out of the box comes John Parker Jones. We're back to 5-on-5. Puck is taken on the goal line by Gore. He's denied passage by Parker Berg. Behind the net, Porter looking east-west. Patiently, no pressure, still has control. Threads it to the blue line. Pass gets redirected off track and all the way back into the Bison zone. Swamp Rabbits get a change with 18:25 left in the second. The Bison up 5-1.
That's the way to do it. You kill that PK. And then now let's set up and let's see if we can apply some pressure here.
Puck comes back now to Shane Ott, taking left side. Tracked on the play by Tim Lovell. Worked up the left side boards. Dennis Smirnoff is there. Bumped off the puck. John Ming Lee takes over now for the Bison. Lee with a half lap around the zone. Fires through traffic. Blocked. Rebound denied on the play. It goes behind the net. Taken over by Lee. Lee settled up to the blue line. Gavlis plays it down low for Ott. Ott finds Lee. High slot to the blue line. Shot sent wide of the net. That was Kyler Wall. Back to Shane Ott we go. An extended D-zone shift for the Swamp Rabbits. Smirnoff can't get it. Parker Berg finally does. And the Swamp Rabbits exit. Berg on his horse trying to get away from 2 oncoming aggressors. Played up ahead for Keaton Mastroganato. Hacked down to the right wall. Neil Shea bumped off the puck. And it's Connor Milburn who jumps into the fray. Lost control. Swamp Rabbits get a partial change as the Bison come up with numbers. Parker Lindauer down the right side of the Swamp Rabbit zone. Waits for reinforcements. Pass broken up by Ben Poisson and forked out to the red line. Poisson recovers and throws it back to his defense with 17:15 left in the second. And the Bison with a 5-1 lead.
You got to want it, right? You got to try to beat every play, every shift. You got to beat those 50-50 battles.
Puck is played out of the reach of Caden Galt on the run. Riku Ishido with the recovery for the Bison. Ishido works it up ahead. Ilya Suligan takes it back out through neutral ice. Suligan over all three lines. Onside. Suligan with a shot. Missed blocker side of Lakutsi. Puck played up the far side. Jake Murray threaded on out through center. It's Caden Galt. Pinballs back. Murray on his horse. Offside. Galt not quick enough to tag up. 16:41 to go in the second, and the Bison lead 5-1.
Yeah, he tried to shuffle back there. He saw it and just could not get the side shelf to get across the blue line. They'll do the drop on the floor dot right in front of the Rabbits sit bin. And 16:41, you would like to see the Rabbits really see if they can apply pressure this next 2 to 3 minutes, get 2 to 3 shots on McKay and really get in the dirty area there.
Across from the Swamp Rabbits bench we go. Out at the red line. Puck taken back by Jake Murray and backhand shovel deep. All the way to McKay. Calmly turned away from his net. Turned over. Jake Percival thrown down low. Too hot to handle for the backhand of Jack Brackett. Percival jabs it down the wall again. Percival tries to come out of the pileup. Leaves it for O'Hara. Behind the net. Brackett a backhander. And barely getting a piece of it was McKay. Deflected into the mesh and out of play with 16:19 left in the second. And it keeps the lead at 5-1 for Bloomington.
There you go. That's what you need. You got to get out in there and create some offense. Some of that comes with Gretzky's office, that restricted area, as you like to call it. You got to create some passes from deep in there and then see if you get in front of the line.
Glove side of Dryden McKay we go. No stranger to this area. Played with the Swamp Rabbits last season for 35 games and went 12-17, 4-1 with a pair of shutouts. Also played a game with the Ontario Reign, but did not come up victorious in that one. Puck is played up the near side boards. It trickles on out through center through the legs of Ryan O'Hara. Brackett tags back up. The Bison back in possession. That's Parker Gavlis back inside his own zone. Gavlis goes to Nikita Setoff. Back for Gavlis. He turns on his afterburners through the neutral zone. Gavlis over all three lines. Weaves by everybody. Throws it down for Chongmin Lee behind the net. Lee takes over, centers it out with a shot. Got deflected. Puck rolls to Lakutsi, and he couldn't snare it in his glove. Back on out through center. It's Setoff again. Setoff at the red line. Worked on up for Lee. Lee bumped off the puck, and the Swamp Rabbits have it back. It's Jake Murray with 15:35 left in the second, and the Bison up 5-1. Here comes Ryan O'Reilly from the left. Fired through traffic, kicked away. Rebound denied by McKay. He had a man coming off the bench. It was Josh Zary who was denied. And it stays 5-1 Bloomington with 15:27 to go in the second.
If Zary could have got off the bench, maybe a quick second, there's no way McKay could have stopped that. That little pause, that little microsecond allowed McKay to get back in that position and get that. But I like, now you're starting to get some pressure. If they're going to stick handle and use speed, you got to start putting the body on them. You got to use that physicality.
O'Reilly in the dot glove side of McKay has Zach Fairmouth across from him. O'Reilly wins the draw. Parker Jones to the back end. Rigo dips his shoulder, maneuvers by one, turns to his forehand left side. Rigo through traffic. It got through, but it missed the far post. Back to Rigo and hacked on out. Fairmouth takes over, goes one-on-one against Parker Jones. It rolls to the net, and Simon Lakutsi smothers it with 15:10 left in the second. Let's get to know the newest netminder of the Swamp Rabbits 2025 NCHC Goaltender of the Year out of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Lakutsi stands at 5'11" and 180 pounds from Trenčín, Slovakia. In his NCAA career, went 52, 50, and 5 with 5 shutouts in 110 games with the UNO Mavericks.
Wow. I tell you, it's interesting. If you're a good tender, like they used to say, no matter where you are, if you got the skill, somebody's going to find you. And they found him from all the way from Slovakia. I don't know much about Slovakia.
Neither do I. All I know is that they play hockey, and they're pretty good at it. Here comes O'Reilly with a shot in transition, and it's smothered by Dryden McKay. The whistle coming with 15 minutes to play in the middle act of tonight's performance, and the Bison have a 5-1 lead. Should also be noted about Lakutsi that it was a 3-time Conference Honorable Mention All-Star, a Clark Cup champion with the Chicago Steel in the USHL in 2021, a 3-time World Junior Champion participant with his native country of Slovakia, and also a 2-time champion with his hometown in Slovakian junior hockey at the U18 and U19 level.
What was that hometown? Can you pronounce it?
Trenčín.
Oh, there you go. Look at you. The multi-language, you have a hockey. Hockey is your second language. Being able to pronounce the names and places.
The irony of that, partner, is that hockey is a universal language because in my biased opinion, it is by far the best sport alive.
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
Puck is turned over. It comes to Gore in close range, and Lakutsi wards him off. Puck gloved on down by Porter. Porter takes it left side back for Gore. Gore threads it, blue line. It's Porter with a shot off the glove of Lakutsi and taken back up the far side boards. 14.5 to go, second period. Bloomington still up 5-1. Gore left side to the right, finds a man, and Sung Jae Lee with a try that got through, and Lakutsi makes 2 saves in point blank range. Under duress right now, an extended D zone shift for the Swamp Rabbits. Porter warded off by Berg, and he finally forces him out to center. Both gentlemen hit the deck. Porter lost his helmet. We have a delayed call, and the Swamp Rabbits are going to go to the kill for a third time at the next whistle. Mack behind the net, intercepted by Smirnoff, and it is roughing. That puts Berg to the box.
Yeah, I don't think it was the initial fall. I think it was pushing the helmet off the other players, what got him. And he is going to go and sit in the box. And it's interesting, while the shots on goal is not tremendously different, if we kept possession time of possession, Bloomington's killing us with it. They are really controlling the pace of the game, and they are being able to get into the zone and stay in the zone an elongated time. Parker Berg gets the sin bin, and we are back to the PK, I think the third time.
Third time on the Arthrex penalty kill tonight. Swamp Rabbits still down 5-1. It is Parker Berg for roughing at 6 minutes of the second period. Blocker side of Simon Lakutsi we go. 14 minutes left in the second. 5-1 is the Bison lead.
That's such a good job. Have you ever screwed up a name?
Oh yeah, I have.
Well, I'll screw up all kind of names. I don't know how you read all these names all the time. It's crazy.
Well, the other one, too, is that some players are not necessarily honest with their names because if they're really hard to pronounce and spell, they just take it and they're like, okay, you know, they're going to mess up my name anyway. It is what it is. So I'll get to my solution for that here in a bit. Bison on the power play, 95 seconds left on it. Parker Lindauer throws it to the net front, and I think Lakutsi caught a piece of it. And out through the neutral zone, it rolls back to Shane Ott into Bison territory. Doc Emmerich had a method for that. He would go to the player who's had his name said 500 billion times the wrong way, and when they say just say it like this, he would follow up and say, how does your mother say your name? And whatever the answer to that question was, that's what he would call them on the air.
Well, it depends if she was mad or not.
That's very true.
Isn't that right? I mean, if the mama's mad, she may call you things you don't want to say on the air. Just saying.
Jongmin Lee throws the puck to the net front. Reversed, taken back by Jake Murray, and chipped on out to center. Out of the reach of Shane Ott. Ott catches up to the puck. Swamp Rabbits with 50 seconds to go on the Arthrex penalty kill. 12:50 left in the second. Bloomington with a 5-1 lead.
You never had to experience that. I'm sure you never got in trouble, Benner.
Oh, come on.
A perfect child.
I'm the middle child. Of course I got in trouble. Puck comes back to the right corner of the Swamp Rabbit zone. And it's taken back. Up and out, it's Jake Percival. Percival turns on his jets through the neutral zone. Onside, drop back Poisson from distance, and it got deflected away from McKay's net. Taken back up the ice by Sullivan Mack. Mack onside to Denny Gore, working on a 2-point night so far. Mack, half lap around the Swamp Rabbit zone. 10 seconds left on the penalty kill. Puck worked around to the far wall. Graham Porter takes it. Porter back through the wicket, settled on a bounce to the blue line. Setoff is there, fakes a shot, hands off to Porter. Back to Setoff, back to Porter, and the shot got blocked by Tim Rigo. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Parker Berg jumps into the D zone. Puck is stymied on the wall. Fluttered up and taken back by Porter. Threaded, the needle. It's Felix Denis, and he scores. Lou Felix Denis goes over the shoulder of Simon Lakutsi, and with 11:46 left in the second, the Bison have a 6-1 lead.
You can see that kind of unravel. They were trying to play it on the half wall, and it was kind of bouncing all around. The check replay is coming. We have 2 or 3 players. All of a sudden, the Bloomington player goes right down Interstate 85 and takes a shot almost from the dash marks for goal number 6. I'm not sure how else to pronounce that other than goal number 6.
It's the only thing you can say in a situation like that, partner. At the red line, face-off won by the Swamp Rabbits as we resume. Prouty takes it back from Tim Lovell. Lovell through the neutral zone to Dennis Smirnoff. In stride now for Neil Shea. Fork down right corner. Keaton Mastradzanato on top of the puck. Knifed away from him. Mastradzanato takes it behind the attacking net. Mastradzanato left side, bank to the blue line. Lovell, D to D for Prouty. Prouty, Mastradzanato, high slot. Couldn't settle it for a shot. Mastradzanato back on the right side boards. Turns to his forehand rim behind the net. Dennis Smirnoff is there. Smirnoff threads it up ahead for Shea. Nobody backdoor to receive it. The right idea, just didn't have anyone there. Lovell tight ropes the blue line, keeps the zone. Prouty with a head fake, fires it. It gets knocked away by McKay, maybe even a defender in the net front. Prouty sends it behind. Smirnoff around the horn for Shea. Shea throws it off the back wall, looking for Smirnoff. Shea pressed into the boards on the right side. 10:50 to go, second period, 6-1, Bison with the lead.
Best shift so far.
It is an extended shift. Puck turned over. Mastradzanato for the backhand. Another try. Kick save McKay. Mastradzanato, a third try. It's Berg, and it goes into the mesh and out of play. 10:36 to go in the second. The Bison lead 6-1. We'll kick it down to Cody Ryder, our public address announcer, and our friends with AB Tree for the hometown hero.
Right, with AB Tree. On behalf of AB Tree and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is because of men and women like you, we get to live in the home of the free. Fans, it is time to get on your feet and get loud.
Because this is your AB Tree, hometown hero.
He is currently in active duty in the Army for his 26th year. He completed the ROTC program at Radford University as a distinguished military graduate and was commissioned in the Quartermaster Corps as a second lieutenant in May of 2000. He has completed assignments across the U.S., Korea, Japan, Egypt, and Iraq. He has received the Bronze Star, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Joint Service Achievement Medal, and more. Get on your feet, Greenville, to help us welcome and honor your AB Tree hometown hero, Craig Daniel.
Here's a tech replay. We're seeing that. Now, that was the best shift of the second period. Lots of action around McKay. And we're going to do the face on this blocker side. He's a left-handed goaltending tender, and so we'll see what we have. 10:36 left in the second period.
Swamp Rabbits win the draw. Comes to Parker Berg inside the blue line. Sent down the left side board. Berg connects on the play with Tim Rigo. Back for board. He keeps the line. Berg through traffic. That one missed the net. Puck comes back to Denny Gore. Threaded on out through neutral ice. Here come the Bison on the run. Puck taken in close range, and Lackatsy gets a poke check, and he lost his weapon. That was Sullivan Mack coming in transition. Puck to the net front. Lackatsy couldn't get it close enough for a whistle. His goaltending stick is still in the right corner of the Swamp Rabbit zone. Puck played off the back wall, taken by Rigo. Back for Berg, who has some time and tries to exit. He does. Smirnoff kicked up ahead. Mastradzanato streaking through the middle. The pass from Shea knocked aside. Here comes Smirnoff. Lackatsy goes back to get his stick, and the Swamp Rabbits are finally going to go to the power play as Smirnoff takes a high stick with 9:45 left in the second, and the Swamp Rabbits down 6-1. We'll take a timeout and come right back with the Swamp Rabbits trying to end the scoring run on special teams on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
We don't have time to get into all the reasons you may need urgent care. There's coughing, sneezing, painful mistakes, rashes, bites, unpleasant infections, cold and flu, tummies too. But at American Family Care Bon Secours Urgent Care, we always have the time to give you exceptional, convenient care. Because here, you can get in and out in about an hour. American Family Care Bon Secours Urgent Care.
Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits defenseman Jake Murray. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
As a special reminder to those tuning into this broadcast on FloHockey or on Palmetto Sports and Entertainment, we have a special ticket offer of $25 tickets with no fees. You know the drill by now. We've only got 6 home games left, including tonight. The offer ends when the game ends. So head to swamprabbits.com/Palmetto Sports or scan the QR code to claim the offer. Swamp Rabbits to their first South Carolina Education Lottery Powerball Power Play. They went 1 for 4 last night against Savannah. Let's see if it can kickstart a comeback here with the Swamp Rabbits down 6-1. Over 9.5 to play in the second. Puck bounces off a shin pad and is chased down by Caden Galt in his own zone. And the Swamp Rabbits have to come back up the full length of the ice. It is high sticking against Chongmin Lee at 10:15 of the second.
Yeah, they need to get it in there. And I tell you, Bloomington's doing a great job on their PK. Back into their offensive zone again.
Mikhail Abramov pesters Tim Lovell from behind. Swamp Rabbits get it back and now try to work up the ice. Lovell streaks through the neutral zone. Lovell over 2, over all 3 lines. He's onside to Caden Galt, left wall. Galt on the rotation for O'Reilly. Back to Galt, left side for a shot off the face mask of McKay. And the puck comes back to the left corner. Galt is there. Galt maneuvers. John Parker Jones to Galt. Blue line, it's O'Reilly. O'Reilly waits. Hands off. Lovell now at the point. Lovell tight ropes and waits for an option. Right side boards. Finds a man. Berg. He scores! It's a power play goal! Parker Berg rifles a wrister through traffic. And with 8:40 left in the second, the Swamp Rabbits cut the deficit to 6-2.
There you go. You cycle that puck. Try to shrink that in there. Berg kind of slid down into that alley and then just unloaded a wrister with some pace against McKay. It started back there too. They had another good shot that McKay had to fend off with his face mask. And that's what you need to do. If they're going to try to extend and play that really high tempo D, you got to beat them and try to shrink that zone. And we got a goal back. Let's see if we can get another one.
The Swamp Rabbits end a scoring run of 5 unanswered from the Bison from 5:53 of the first to 8:14 of the second. Parker Berg, number 8 on the year, his second by virtue of the power play. And it comes at 11:20 of the second. The Swamp Rabbits offside as we resume. We'll have a neutral zone faceoff.
Yeah, there was no way they could do that all side. We had a guy that was down by the Brandt logo. They'll do the drop back on the floor. But let's see if we can infuse some more air into this building and get another one.
Parker Berg from Tim Lovell and Ryan O'Reilly at 11:20 of period number 2. And this one a power play goal. Back-to-back games for the Swamp Rabbits, batting 1,000 early tonight on the only one they've gotten. Puck comes back on out to center. Ryan O'Hara pestered on the play by Chongmin Lee. Jake Murray tees him up for a hit. Puck comes back down to O'Hara on the rotation. Into Murray's spot. Work back to Murray. He loses it. Chongmin Lee takes it back right corner of the Swamp Rabbit zone. Lee up the board. Blue line shot kicked away by Latkitsy. And taken back by the Swamp Rabbits and carried up and out in front of the bench area. In transition, here comes Percival. Onside, Percival tried to dance by Riku Ishida. And Ishida just got enough of the puck to throw him off track. On back through the neutral zone with 7:45 left in the second. Swamp Rabbits have cut the deficit to 6-2, and it's Jake Murray back the opposite way.
He tried to toe drag him. Ishida was not going to have any of that. Did a good job of kind of poke checking him.
Here comes Murray with a shot knocked away by McKay. Puck played off the back wall, settled on down and stolen by Caden Galt. Galt looking for some help. Button hooks back right side, blew out a tire. Back up to the blue line. He has Ben Poisson. Opens up his hips, cuts down the right corner, and sends it back down behind the net. Sung Jae Lee takes over on defense for the Bison, throws it off the back wall, and it's Ishida who slows down and gets his team on the right page. Ishida with a Hail Mary up the ice. Connects with Aiden McDonald. Fire deep into his former team zone. Tim Lovell on top of it with 7 minutes left in the second. And the Swamp Rabbits down 6-2.
There we go. They need it. I think they're trying to get into the zone with pace, and that's what's going to help them break this defense up.
Connor Milburn almost blew up his man on the back wall. That was Kyler Wall. Puck comes out through neutral ice and into the penalty box. They said it was deflected out. There will be no loss of manpower. 6:44 left in the second, and 6-2 is the Bison lead. We'll be right back on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
As the official medical providers of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is proud to support our hometown team. Whether they're playing at home in the Bon Secours Wellness Arena or on the road, their team is there taking care of the bumps and bruises of the game and keeping the Rabbits in peak condition. Their high-quality care isn't just for athletes. Life moves fast for all of us, and Bon Secours is here to help you stay healthy through it all. When you need expert, compassionate care, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is here for you and your family. Visit bonsecours.com to find primary care close to home. Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward Patrick Polino. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
By watching tonight's game, you've unlocked a special Team Store online discount. Enter the code Palmetto, P-A-L-M-E-T-T-O, at checkout at swamprabbits.shop to redeem a special discount off your purchase. You got to know the drill by now. It's the same disclaimer with half the offers. It ends when the game ends, and we have 6:42 left in the second.
You know how to spell Palmetto. You spent 4 years down in Columbia.
I sure did. Pride of the University of South Carolina. Lackensy with a drive stop, but the rebound put on in, and they score. It's the second leading scoring defenseman in the league. Nikita Setoff, and with 6.5 left in the second, the Bison get another one back, and it's 7-2.
So Lackensy had a blocker. I think he thought it was stuck in his paraphernalia because it kind of rolled up his blocker. Unfortunately, you'll see on the tech replay, it came up over that, went right by the goal. Setoff was coming around the horn and was able to just deposit it back in. And now it is 7-2. I'm not sure the last time we've seen 7 goals scored against us. I know you'll have that in your magic manila folder.
Last year, the Swamp Rabbits lost 8-0 to the Florida Everblades on November 16th. It was an early puck drop. It was Faith and Family Day, if my memory serves me correctly. Swamp Rabbits came back the next day and won 3-2. Just a tough go that day all around. That was also the professional debut of Colby Hay. He came in the stead of Dryden McKay. And so now here come the Swamp Rabbits back inside their own zone. Puck gets batted on down, taken over by Brad Morrison. Morrison slips it on ahead. Swamp Rabbits barely get it over the blue line and out. Morrison worked up now for Lou Felix Denis. Thought he had a second one. He whiffed on the shot. Swamp Rabbits exit. John Parker Jones for Josh Sari. Passes behind him, and the Bison recover in their own zone. This one, Sung Jae Lee to hang on to it with 5:45 left in the second. Now a 7-2 Bison lead. Nikita Setoff from Grant Porter and Sullivan Mack at 13:30.
It was an unfortunate little bounce. Kind of trickled around that near post, and we just could not reset in time. Because he couldn't come back to that post in time.
Jake Percival back the other way, wards off a hit. Brackett lost the puck behind the net, then he steals it back briefly. Percival lost it in his skates. The Bison come back out through transition. 5:18 left in the second, 7-2 Bloomington in the driver's seat. Blue line shot, that's Sung Jae Lee kicked away by Lackensy. Taken back behind the Swamp Rabbits net, here comes Jake Murray. Threads it on up now for O'Hara. He can't exit, up to the blue line, barely kept in by Parker Gavlis. Gavlis behind the net, Parker Lindauer takes over. A lot of players named Parker on this roster.
A lot of Parker and a lot of consonants out there, not a whole lot of vowels.
No doubt about that. Here comes Shane Ott. Only 3 letters in his name, plays it off a body, and a defender got a piece of it. Ryan O'Hara turns on his Jets the other way. O'Hara dumps it deep and pursues towards the corner. He's pressed off his pathway to the puck. And it's fired all the way back out through center with 4:33 to go in the second. 7-2, the Bison with the lead.
Sorry about that, partner. Didn't mean to overspeak you. I just don't know how that wasn't called interference.
No doubt. I would agree with that to some extent. Here comes Goal, powers through. Goal with a try. He scores! Caden Goal with his first goal on home ice, and it's a dandy. 4:21 left in the second, and the Swamp Rabbits cut the deficit to 7-3.
Woo! Boy, you called that a dandy. That was almost a Mastro #2. He dinked left and right, got McKay to commit, and went around the boot of McKay on McKay's right side. And that's the way to respond. 10 goals scored in under 2 periods. It is a free-for-all right now.
Caden Galt gets the second goal of his pro career. It is his second goal in the last 3 games. He got his first as a pro back in North Charleston to make it 5-3 in the third.
What a nifty little goal with speed that Galt came in. You know, I have heard you talk about it, that the game on the west side of the U.S. is a little bit different than the game on the east side. They play a little more with speed on the west side. They play a little more physical. At least in this division, it feels like they play a little more physical. And we're starting to see some of that West Coast offense tonight, if you will.
Puck is fought for at the red line as we resume play. Taken back out through center. And it's worked back by Ilya Suligan to his defense of Riku Ishida. Around the horn, Zach Fairmount to Aiden McDonald. McDonald inside the blue line, stymied, and the puck is played on up and out. Michael Mastrodomenico worked up for Tim Lovell jumping in. Lovell has it poked through his wickets, dumped down into the corner. Shea crushes his man into the boards, and the puck taken up and out by Riku Ishida through neutral ice. Parker Berg with the steal, thrown back to Lovell with 3:25 left in the second. The Swamp Rabbits trail 7-3. Caden Galt on the assist from Ben Poisson and Tim Lovell at 15:39. Back comes the puck to Sung Jae Lee behind the Bison net. Taken back by Denny Gore. Gore lost control briefly. Puck is played up and carried on out by Sullivan Mack. Mack's pass intercepted by Tim Rigo. Flung down left side, intended for Keaton Mastrodonato, and that becomes a souvenir not too far away from our broadcast location.
I tell you, you can kind of tell what the Rabbits are doing. Pucks deep, as you like to say. Pucks deep, and then go chase it.
We'll take a step aside and come right back with the end of period number 2. Swamp Rabbits down 7-3 with 3:01 to go. Oh, wait a minute. I think the referees have said cut it. And that makes sense. I thought we had gone to 3 already.
Yeah. They're gonna play it. And so they'll do the face-off, I believe, to the right of McKay. I think that's the closest where it was played out. His blocker hand again. And they got the Beastie Boys up on the, they're playing some bangers tonight. I tell you what, I'd love to see this 4th goal by the Rabbits in this last 2:57.
Swamp Rabbits go back to work. Shea, cross ice, off of a skate, and it just bounced to the side of McKay's net. Puck taken back by Parker Berg on the left wall. Berg takes a bump, throws it down left side. Berg, sharp angle back door, had a man. They couldn't get a piece of wood to it. Back down the right side boards. Puck taken, cross ice pass is deflected out. That was Smirnoff trying to link up with Berg. And now it's Setoff, who gets a redirect from Grant Porter deep in the Swamp Rabbit territory. 2:25 left in the second, and the Swamp Rabbits trail by 4.
Just a kind of a funny game tonight that has just been back and forth, back and forth. 25 shots for Bloomington is what the Jumbotron, 20 to ours. But it just felt like this has been a track meet all game long.
Puck is played halfway around the zone to the blue line. Shot taken on the sequence. That was Joe Prouty. And McKay caught a piece of it. Puck is flung all the way down the full length of the ice. Icing the signal, icing waved off. Jake Murray has to play it. Murray around 1, stopped up on the wall by Mikhail Abramov. 2-on-2 battle forms. Abramov fights for the puck, flings it to the blue line. Shot deflected, drop back for a shot. That's Lou Felix Denis looking for his second, and he missed behind the net. Puck taken outside the trapezoid of Lakitsi, and now in. Denis handcuffed in a sharp angle. Denis takes it himself, goes the opposite way. Denis throws it down right corner, and the puck bounces to Ryan O'Hara, flung sky high in the air. All the way back into Bison territory. Percival on his horse is beaten to it. Then it squeaked away from him out to the red line. O'Hara back to Lovell with 75 seconds to go in the second. The Swamp Rabbits down 4.
Bloomington loves to get this puck in deep. If they can get in front of the goalie, they like these drop passes. We've seen that several times tonight. These little 1- or 2-foot passes.
Pass too hot to handle for Parker Jones. He catches up to it anyway, and his pass for Lovell's off track. A minute to go in the period. Here comes Lindauer. Onside, hammered into the boards. Lindauer is down, slow to get up. Hopefully he's okay. Here comes O'Reilly the other side. O'Reilly powers by his man to the net front. Couldn't get it to go. Shane Ott up the wall. Still not out. Chong-Min Lee battles with Parker Jones. And finally chips it up and out. He gets some help. Mastrodomenico beaten on the play left side. Puck centered. Mastrodomenico the defender. And Lakitsi comes up with a stop and he smothers it in his glove. 29.6 seconds to go in the second, and the Swamp Rabbits still trail 7-3.
Well, that little burst of speed that they have right now, first or second stride, several of these players have a lot of speed, and they are able to cover ground in that tight space quickly. And that's a nightmare for goaltenders because you've got to play the puck. And if they come in behind you or come with speed, you really rely heavily on your defense to pick those guys up.
Left side of Simon Latkinson we go.
What song is this?
I don't know. I'd have to Shazam it.
I like a Hakuna Matata where I know you know all those songs.
You mean Toccata and Fugue by Johann Sebastian Bach.
There you go.
Here come the Swamp Rabbits back the other way. Milburn, the trailer puck, barely caught up to him, but not because of the diving defender. Set off the other way, worked up ahead for Porter. Porter powers by Parker Berg, takes it behind the Swamp Rabbits net. 10 seconds left in the period. Centering pass negated by Latkinson as he throws it out to neutral ice. Settled on down by Brendan Datema, and that is going to do it. 0-0 on the clock. We have played 40 minutes here inside Bon Secours Wellness Arena, the first ever meeting between the Bison and the Swamp Rabbits. The Bison get 2 more, the Swamp Rabbits get 2 more, and it's 7-3 with a period left.
Yeah, nothing really decided outside of both these teams are scoring goals. We have got to start to stem this tide, partner. We can't allow them to continue to pile it on there. 7-3 after 2. Who had that on their bingo card?
Swamp Rabbits cashed in on the only power play they had in the period, the only power play of the game. While the Bison were held over on their power play in the second, they are 1 for 3 overall on the contest. Shots on goal were 17-13 in that second period in favor of Bloomington. Overall in the contest, they're out shooting the Swamp Rabbits 26-21. And a much better second period, but still a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do. Yeah, it definitely was a better second period, but I felt like there were several times that we just got stuck in the zone, that the time of possession heavily tilted in Bloomington's favor.
As always, we keep it here to start off our second intermission report. The first ever matchup between the Bloomington Bison and Greenville Swamp Rabbits is heating up. The Bison still maintain their lead. The count currently at 7-3 with 20 minutes to go. Thanks so much again for joining us tonight with my partner, Mr. Matt Caldwell. I'm Mark Benetti alongside you here on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network. As always, a privilege to be with you here on this Thursday night. A much better period. You'd hate that the Bison continue to separate more and more, but good to see the Swamp Rabbits fight back and have some success in that second.
Absolutely, that's what you wanted to see. You wanted to see some of that fight come out, and they had that there, but we just can't control their pace right now, and we can't control their time in the zone. It feels like once they dump it in the zone, they're able to spend almost 2 times the amount that we can spend in our zone. And they are really finding some good shots. Had a lot of good chances. Scored on some of those chances, but we are still in the hole, and they got a long way to go in 20 minutes.
Quick scoring exchanges all around again. At the end of the period, all 4 goals were exchanged within 7 minutes and 25 seconds. You talk about speed in this game. It's one thing to see the players buzzing up the ice like they are, but if you look at this game sheet, it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes between goal scoring sequences.
Yeah, it really is. It almost feels like a scrimmage. You know, you'll see that on a scrimmage a lot of time, back and forth. And I'm going to have to get you another pin. You're using too much ink on that. It's just been left and right. And I think if you're the Rabbits, look, you're already out of the playoffs. You want to be a disruptor. But these are times, it's almost like 3 times that you can do a lot of teaching on what you want to see out there. And you really are looking for your guys to step up and say, look, we know we're out, but this is our home ice. We're going to take advantage of that and really impose your will. Right now, it feels like Bloomington is imposing their will on us.
And Coach Costello made a great point to his room. As an athlete, as a person, you owe it to this team to give everything you've got. You owe it to these fans in this community. If you quit, well, that says a lot that we probably shouldn't say on air.
Exactly. The interesting things are the goals come in different looks and different types. We see ones that are just kind of put in off a small rebound. We see one on, going down the middle of the ice being scored. So they're coming in different types of that. To slow that down, we have not seen the physicality that I would like to see. They have got to start using the boards and that glass and really roughing them up. Maybe not for this game, but for games 2 and 3, they got to really start roughing them up and playing that physical game.
Well, the different ways of scoring were plentiful here in this second period with 4 between both teams. Lou Felix Denis had the first one. He found an open patch of ice, and a guy with his skill, if you give him that time, he's going to roof it, and he did under the bar to make it 6-1.
Yeah, well, those are hard to do. Those rising pucks are really hard sometimes to time. Then they were off and running.
Lou Felix Denis is 14th of the year from Grant Porter, and Nikita Sedov at 8-14, but then the Swamp Rabbits got one back. It was Parker Berg on the power play, traffic, and what looked like a harmless wrist shot, but we know that when Berg shoots, he's got a lot of weight on that release, and it squeaked right on through to make it 6-2.
Yeah, that release, that velocity, what do they call it in baseball, that velocity that comes off that pitch. He was able to sink down in the zone a little bit, and we've seen him do it from the blue line too. When he loads up that wrister, it comes with some velocity, and he got right in there past the K.
Berg gets his 8th of the year from Tim Lovell and Ryan O'Reilly at 11:20 of the second, but then the Bison got one right back coming out of a timeout at 13:30. It's the second leading scoring defenseman in the league, Nikita Sedov, who was in the net front right to the side of the net, followed a rebound from behind and slapped it in back door.
Yeah, I think when Laskisy blocked it with his blocker, I think he kind of rolled up the blocker. It kind of rolled right by that far post. Sedov was right there just to kind of wrap it in, and Laskisy couldn't reset in time. That's when you depend on your defensemen to keep those people out of that area, and that was their 7th goal.
Sedov with a dozen on the year now. Grant Porter another assist. Sullivan Mack gets another helper at 13:30, but the Swamp Rabbits have the last word. Caden Galt had a burst of speed by his defender, and he deked out Dryden McKay for his second professional goal and his first one on home ice at 15:39.
What a dandy. It looked like a little bit like what Mastro did yesterday. He got him to commit, and he was so quick on that wrap around that boot shot. It was a beautiful goal. First goal here on home ice, like you said.
Caden Galt is second as a pro, second in the last 3 games. His first one came on Saturday at North Charleston Coliseum. Then Poisson and Tim Lovell with the assist at 15:39. Shots on goal overall 26-21 in favor of the Bison. It was 17-13 Bloomington in the second. Both teams got a power play in the second. The Swamp Rabbits the only one that was successful. Overall, the Bison 1 for 3. The Swamp Rabbits batting 1,000 at 1 for 1.
Yeah, so now we got 20 more minutes. What do you do in the 20 more minutes? You got to stop their onslaught, their speed, playing physical, and then really try to chip away at it. Just like you said at the beginning of the second period, you can't look at the scoreboard. You got to say it's 0-0 and play from there.
I'm interested to get your thoughts here. You and I talked off air about when you were first starting to become the analyst of this team and how you read up on hockey, and it doesn't take somebody well-versed or an NHL veteran to dive into the mentality of a 7-3 score with 1 period to go. You're a sportsman, you played basketball. I can imagine there were countless times where you found yourself down 20 or 25 at halftime. So going into this final stretch here, 20 minutes, where's your head at? How do you make this comeback reality?
Well, first off, your confidence in my basketball skills was evident. That was behind 20 or 30. Thanks for that, Benner. I will tell you what, there were times that we were losing, and I remember the coach, both in college, collegiate, in China, and also when I played in Kansas. There were times the coach says, are you happy with what your effort that you're giving? And for me, that's all you had to say. Because what I think it translates is the 2 things. Translates one into your effort, but the skills that you work on, you're not executing on your skills. For me, on the court, on them, on the ice, it's not anything that magical that you have to say it. You've got to find whatever their button is that triggers that fire, that they come out and play, and they just don't kind of give up on that. I don't know any of these players over my time just to give up, but I do know these players at times, they will rise to the occasion at different times. We've seen that. And so that's what you got to find. The other thing for me is, and I'm sure it's the same way, you don't want to be humiliated on ice. You want to play your game and show that you belong in this arena. And so that's what you have to bring out there. Again, you want to give the fans a good show, but that is almost secondary to making sure you play next to your partner and you're doing everything you can to win for the team.
For what it's worth, earlier in the broadcast, you renewed my faith in your broadcast, in your basketball abilities, because I saw the photo evidence of you dunking. So it does exist. It was real. This man can do it.
Yeah, I'll give you one short story. I was in Brazil playing a pickup game, and my dad was on the court. And I came from the left side, and I cocked it, and I dunked it, and it shattered. And I thought, you know, first thing that goes through my mind, like, yeah, right? The second thing that went through my mind is, I need to see how my dad reacts to this. He gets up, He walks around the corner, gets a broom, walks onto the court and hands it to me and says, clean your mess up.
Well,
so there you go.
We're going to do some cleaning in the intermission. In the meantime, we'll take a step aside. When we come back, it's another look previewing the massive matchup the LA Kings have tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Nashville also in action against Utah. A lot of implications on Wild Card 2 in this playoff race in the NHL. We'll be right back on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; VFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flow Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flow Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
Life gets hectic, but with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Hey hockey fans, want to join a team that's making a difference in people's lives? Arthrex is hiring. They develop innovative technologies that help treat orthopedic sports injuries around the world and right here in your community. From elite athletes to weekend warriors, they care about helping people get back in the game, and so do their employees. If you're looking to make a difference and learn new skills, including machining and assembly, check out available jobs at careers.arthrex.com. That's careers.arthrex.com. No manufacturing experience required. When it comes to your meeting, event, or gathering, McAllister's Catering has you covered. Choose from our fresh, flavorful sandwich trays, boxed lunches, salads for the group, spud bars, desserts, and more. Cater to the hungriest of crowds and the pickiest of eaters. You plan it, we'll cater it. At McAllister's, our sandwiches are piled high, our famous iced tea is always brewed fresh, and our salads, soups, and spuds have flavor packed into every bite. Come into your nearest location and experience it for yourself, or download our app for quick and easy online ordering. Sign up for rewards and get a free tea on us. As the official medical providers of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is proud to support our hometown team. Whether they're playing at home in the Bon Secours Wellness Arena or on the road, their team is there taking care of the bumps and bruises of the game and keeping the Rabbits in peak condition. Their high-quality care isn't just for athletes. Life moves fast for all of us, and Bon Secours is here to help you stay healthy through it all. When you need expert, compassionate care, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System is here for you and your family. Visit bonsecours.com to find primary care close to home. Hey hockey fans, want to join a team that's making a difference in people's lives? Arthrex is hiring. They develop innovative technologies that help treat orthopedic sports injuries around the world and right here in your community. Learn new skills in clean, high-tech environment with many exciting amenities and benefits, including a sign-on bonus, free lunch, free on-site medical care, attractive shift schedules, and on-site child care center. Check out available jobs at careers.arthrex.com. That's careers.arthrex.com. No manufacturing experience required.
Life gets hectic, but with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flo Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flo Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rapids Associate Coach Jason Payne. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rapids Broadcast Network.
A little bit of time before we set up the final period of regulation. Swamp Rapids down 7-3 with 1 period to go. Real quick, partner, LA Kings are in a dogfight for that second wild card spot. Currently on the outside looking in by a point. Behind Nashville with a game in hand. Predators play the Mammoth tonight, who can pretty much all but guarantee they get wild card 2. With a win tonight against the Predators and a 4-point swing, the Kings with a huge showdown against the Vancouver Canucks, hoping they get some help from Utah.
Yeah, you got to think Utah is going to bring everything they have tonight. They want to close this out, get in, and be done with it. So Predators really got their work cut out for them. But the Kings, I believe, have it as well. So it'll be interesting. Both those games will be interesting to peek in on as we get home tonight.
And the Ontario Reign not in action tonight, but tomorrow a home and home with the Coachella Valley Firebirds. They start at home tonight, or excuse me, tomorrow. 2 points clear of the Eagles. Magic number of 7 for the division. If the Reign take care of business and win out, they are Pacific Division champs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know they want to get there, so we'll see if it happens.
We'll take a step aside and come right back with a final period. The Swamp Rabbits stare down the barrel of a 7-3 deficit. Do they have a 20-minute run in them? We'll find out on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Life gets hectic, but with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flo Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flo Sports sites. That's over 25 different sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rapids forward Ryan O'Hara. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rapids Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Moments away from the drop of the puck for our final 20 minutes of regulation in the first ever meeting between the Bloomington Bison and your Greenville Swamp Rabbits. And as it stands through 40 minutes of play, the Swamp Rabbits showed some fight in the second, but they trail 7-3 with only 1 period left. Thanks again so much for joining us tonight with my partner, Mr. Matt Caldwell. I'm Mark Benetti alongside you here on the Swamp Rapids Broadcast Network. As always, a privilege to be with you here on Thursday night. We learned a little bit about what this Swamp Rapids team has in the second. Let's see if we learn a little bit more going into the third.
Yeah, I was laughing a little bit because my son was in the hallway with the players, and he was standing a little close to the camera, and his noggin looked the size of Saturn. Like he had a big old bobblehead down there, so I have to tell him, don't stand too close to the camera.
Was that footage from Artemis too?
Might have been. Hey, congratulations. I hope those guys and ladies get back safely, but what a story about Artemis 2. The farthest we've ever had a manned space shuttle around the other side of the moon. I don't know if they call them the Transformers or not, but it'll be interesting, and I hope that heat shield holds and they get back safely.
Amen to that, partner. 7-3, Bloomington with the lead. Swamp Rabbits are in one right now, but we've seen crazy things happen in both this league and in this sport, so hey, you never know.
So what do you think? You beat Nostradamus for a second. What would you like to see in this third period?
I'd like to see an early goal and maybe draw a penalty. And if you score on the power play, great, but if not, try to build momentum out of it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. One of these days we should have the reverso day like Seinfeld did with Superman and have the reverso day, and you do the color.
Grant Porter working on a 4-assist night for Bloomington. Datama, Denis, and Gore, along with Mack, have a goal and an assist to their credit, as does Nikita Sadov. And so now the puck comes back up the far wall of the Swamp Rabbit zone as we resume. The Swamp Rabbits, on the other hand, have a 2-assist night from Tim Lovell and a goal and an assist from Caden Galt. That's 2-point performances in 2 out of 3 games he's played over the last week. Delayed penalty coming up against the Swamp Rabbits. Dryden McKay finally sees the signal, and Setoff carries it up the ice. Setoff onside from the left, dropped on back for Sullivan Mack. Mack plays some keep away, sends it down the far wall. Chongmin Lee works by a man, up to the blue line. Setoff down the left side. Wall with the shot blockered away by Lakotsi. Back up to the blue line again. Setoff once more to the far wall. And now work back up. Kyler Wall down the far side. Finds Grant Porter. Porter throws it off the back wall. Lovell puts his man into the boards, and finally the Swamp Rabbits touch up. 18:52 left in the game. Bison with a 7-3 lead going to the power play for a 4th time.
He's calling a high stick. Partner, they were down there scrambling for that puck, and I don't know if his stick was lifted, but that is a call that I'd like not to see called. I think that when they're doing the 50-50 battles, a lot of times you'll see the other player either get that stick in their chicken wing and raise it, or lift it with the other stick, or another player will lift it and hit their own teammate with it. It's one of those battle ones, and Patrick Domenico is going to go sit in the assist bench. What we hope is the full 2 minutes.
Michael Domenico making his pro debut tonight. The former captain of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish played his whole college career there, 120 games worth in South Bend. One of the Golden Domers. The puck is sent back behind Dryden McKay's net. The Swamp Rabbits to their 4th Arthrex penalty kill of the game. Now 100 seconds left on it. Ryan O'Hara applies pressure in the net front. Shane Ott gets away from him. Aiden McDonald works the puck back to Parker Lindauer, and now the Bison make their way up the playing surface. Lindauer over the red line, finds Chongmin Lee, who has the only power play goal for the Bison tonight. Puck is played off the glass and all the way back down into Bison territory for McKay to handle.
Notre Dame is one of my favorite places to watch a college hockey game. Beautiful rink that they have there on the campus.
36 points in those 120 games. Master Domenico had a native of Kirkland, Quebec. He's the first French-Canadian since Mikhail Robidoux last year.
Oh, yeah, I thought, what, Beauchamp?
And Beauchamp the year before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 years in a row, the Swamp Rabbits with a Quebecer. Josh Zary thrown off the back wall. And the puck's played off the backside and taken over by Lou Felix Denis. 45 seconds left on the penalty kill, 17:35 left in the game. Shot rings off the post, far post, and now another try from Porter goes right in the chest of Simon Latkitsi with 17.5 to play in the game. And the Swamp Rabbits down 7-3.
When I think back about French Canadians, Beauchamp to me probably was one of the most fit players I have ever seen roll through the Swamp Rabbits organization. That guy was a unit.
Anthony Beauchamp played over 200 games as a Swamp Rabbit. That's one of the high-ranking games played totals of all time in team history.
Really took care of himself in season and off season when you got to know him. And it was all about making sure he ate right, worked out right, got enough sleep. And I think you see that with these kind of 200 games, the ability to play longevity like that. I think he was up with Trois-Rivières, was he not?
He was up with Trois-Rivières. He won the title with them last year, played a brief stint with the Florida Everblades this year, and then jumped over to Lee Manus in France. So he ended up playing over in Europe to end off the season. 17 minutes left in the game. Swamp Rabbits with 7 seconds left on the kill. Tim Rigo carries out through neutral ice. Rigo onside, drops it off. Berg with a try, blockered away by McKay. Rebound back to Rigo. We're back to 5-on-5. Rigo makes the drop off and then swims around everyone. Takes it to the right side. Rigo flings it to the corner. Left side, Mastrodonato. Blue line, it's Berg. Berg steps in, waits. Shea calls for it, rifles it. Blocked point blank on the play by Sullivan Mack. Back down behind the Bison net. And it's taken over by Nikita Sedov. Sedov out through the neutral zone for Mack in front of the scorer's table. Takes a bump and dumps it deep behind Lakatsy's net. Parker Berg leaves it on a tee for Michael Mastrodomenico, and the Swamp Rabbits go back the other way. 16-15 left in the game, and the Bison lead by 4.
Interesting start to this third period. A little more physical. I like that.
Mastrodomenico, blue line, left side finds Tim Lovell. Lovell stick handles, tight ropes the line. Back for Mastrodomenico. Couldn't get a clean shot off. It got blocked. And back come the Bison quickly in stride the other way. Puck taken back by Zach Fairmouth. Fairmouth trades paint with Lovell. Lovell sent down to the deck by Fairmouth. Shea on the outside of the pile-up, so's Mastrodomenico. Mastrodonato off the glass, plays it back out through center, and it's taken back by the defense of the Bison. Kyler Wall takes over now in neutral ice. Wall fires it off the glass, rims it around to Tim Lovell. Hacked up the boards, it's intercepted. Fairmouth denied passage up the wall, and the Swamp Rabbits quickly exit out. Connor Milburn turns on his afterburners, lost control of the puck. It's a delayed offside, and the Swamp Rabbits have to tag.
I thought the Bison wore their Tatanka uniforms on the road. Guess not. I guess they're not fans of Kevin Costner.
15-15 left in the game. 7-3 the Bison lead. And back comes the puck. It's Caden Galt up the left side. Galt leaves it back for Milburn. Milburn looking for Poisson. Puck turned right over to Poisson for a shot. He scores! Ben Poisson off the turnover, goes off the post and in. And with 15 minutes left in the game, the Swamp Rabbits trail 7-4.
There you go. That's what a turnover can do for you in the zone. He kind of picked that up and almost did a pinball shot off the post. And that's why you pressure. Partner, 15 minutes, we're only down 3 goals. I have seen more things incredible done than coming back from a 3-goal deficit with 15 minutes left.
Ben Poisson with 2 goals in his last 3 games, and that is number 5.
Oh, he ranked both posts on that. What a nice shot.
The hockey version of a double doink, although it went the right way. And back to it we go in the neutral zone. Rico Ishida takes a bump after the fact, rims it behind Lakatsy's net. Lakatsy plays it into the corner, pass intercepted. Brad Morrison to the net front, that's picked off. Jake Murray, 3-on-2 the other way. Murray leads it up ahead. Zary throws it down for Murray, in on the forecheck, and he's bumped off the puck. Prouty keeps the drive alive down the right side. Ishida behind the net, pass almost broken up by Zary. Ishida comes right back to work for the Bison, up the wall. And now to Lou Felix Denis, out through the neutral zone. Puck takes a bounce and comes back to Mikhail Abramov, who almost gets upended into the Swamp Rabbits bench. He and Josh Zary tied up. And they go back to work as Prouty dumps it deep.
If you're the Bison, the last thing you want to do is give energy to the Rabbits and allow them to get this next goal, because all of a sudden you took a game that was pretty much in control and gave this team a little bit of life.
Puck back to the blue line. It's Rigo in the attacking zone. Rigo walks the line, gives way to Berg. Berg threads it down low, out of Rigo's reach. Rigo off the back wall, well off of his blue line position. Finds a man, it's Brackett, turns, fires, stopped by McKay. Rebound taken by Brendan Datema. Chipped up and out through center, away from Rigo, and he catches up to it. Turns to his forehand and off the glass. He finds a backtracking Ryan O'Hara. O'Hara gains the red line and sends it deep. 13.5 left in the game. 7-4, the Swamp Rabbits trail. The most recent goal, Ben Poisson from Caden Galt and Joe Prouty. 5 minutes into the third period. Percival takes the puck back on a bounce, comes back, Brackett a drive, and it's stopped up by McKay, and he didn't know if he had it. 13-19 left in the game, and the Swamp Rabbits have cut the deficit to 3 against the Bison. We'll take a step aside and come right back on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Life gets hectic, but with Bon Secours, it's never been easier to stay engaged in your healthcare your way. Whether in person or virtually, for you and everyone that depends on you. Through MyChart, you can now schedule and get access to care whenever, wherever, and however you need it. Bon Secours. Healthcare for the universe of you. Connect with Bon Secours on MyChart.
Never miss a rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward Hudson Shandor. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
All right. As a special thank you to those tuning into the broadcast here on FloHockey or Palmetto Sports and Entertainment, we're offering you a special ticket of $25 with no fees. You know the drill by now. The offer ends in 13 minutes and 19 seconds and regulation. So go to swamprabbits.com/Palmetto Sports or scan the QR code to take advantage of the offer. Also, a special shout out to those watching on Amazon Prime. We've hit the big leagues, partner.
Really?
Yeah.
How did we get on Amazon Prime? And Mr. Bezos, where's the discount? Bring it.
Puck comes back into Bison possession. Parker Lindauer through the neutral zone. Chongmin Lee lost it in transition, and the Swamp Rabbits go back to work in their own end. Tim Lovell drops it off for Ryan O'Hara, navigating the neutral zone. O'Hara over the blue line, throws it down right side. Bracket in close support. O'Hara, a shot, missed the net front. Back it comes to Jake Murray. Murray, cross ice level, lets it go, and it skips just wide of the far post. Murray keeps the blue line. Jongmin Lee takes a bump from Brackett. Off the back wall, comes to the corner. O'Hara drops it back for Percival. Into the scrum. Percival rakes for the puck up the wall, lost control. Puck at the blue line, jab just out of the reach of Murray. And the Swamp Rabbits backpedal in their own zone. It's Lovell to Murray, and quickly they try to transition. Well in the midst of a change. Neil Shea with possession with 12:25 left in the game, and the Swamp Rabbits trail 7-4. Shea plays it high off the glass. It stays in play. Puck smoked out by Smirnoff to Mastrodonato. Flings it cross ice. Berg on a hop. Fire stopped by McKay. And he corrals it into his glove to get the whistle with 12:11 left in the game. And the Bison keep their 7-4 lead.
It feels like this is the best 4 or 5 minutes that we have had all game. Continued pressure on McKay. Playing in their zone. This is what we needed the whole 60 minutes. Now, how the heck are we on Amazon Prime?
That's a fine-looking question, and I thank you for it.
Glad to bring those up.
I love how we live in a world full of questions, because a question with a world without questions, we only have answers, and answers without questions are statements.
Why are you trying to get all philosophical? I'm just asking how we got on Prime.
Puck comes back behind the Swamp Rabbits net. It's taken by Tim Rigo out through neutral ice. Rigo snakes through, dumps it back inside Bloomington territory. That's Brendan Datema now to Nikita Sitoff. Sitoff takes it back from Datema at the red line. Hard rims it around, left to right off the glass. Puck comes to Dennis Smirnoff, who outlasts an oncoming aggressor. Smirnoff for Poisson, the most recent goal scorer. Onside now, it's Berg. He stops, he gains some separation. Dropped off for Rigo. Rigo maneuvers back, blue line, Berg through traffic. Stopped by McKay. Puck comes loose, off the glass. Sent on out for Brad Morrison. Morrison's pass intercepted. Milburn quickly jets it on ahead. And it's Lou Felix Denis backpedaling in his own zone. He gets control now to Kyler Wall. Wall ahead for Morrison. Spun off the puck, and the Swamp Rabbits back with it now with 11 minutes left in the game, trailing by 3. Partner, they get another quick one here, and don't count them out.
That's exactly right. I'm not sure that last shot even got to McKay. There was all of humanity in front of McKay. So I don't know if they had a cheap sheet sale right in front of him, but boy, there was a lot of traffic in front of him.
Puck comes back out through neutral ice. Denis dispossessed. Puck's poked back into enemy territory. O'Reilly on the run, powers by his man, and at the last second, Wall comes up with a stick check. Denis has the puck hacked away from him. Back to Wall. He's bumped off the puck by John Parker Jones. O'Reilly jumps into the fray, throws his weight around. Puck comes free to Morrison. He's hammered off the puck by Zary. And finally up the wall, it's Denis who forces it out through neutral ice. Tim Lovell backpedals in his own zone and now begins to accelerate. Lovell looking for a willing participant, doesn't have one yet, and doubles back in his own third. 10-10 left in the game. Swamp Rabbits down 7-4. O'Reilly drops it on back for Lovell. Lovell left in an open area for Joe Prouty. Rattled off the glass right to left behind McKay's net. McKay settles it down for his defense. Ishida takes a hard bump after the fact, and Percival kept it in zone a little while longer. Puck is played back to Porter. Now for McDonald, back for Porter in the net front. Kick save, Latkinsey barely got a piece of it. And the Swamp Rabbits keep it 7-4, 9:40 left. Brackett quickly to Poisson, toe drag and a shot and his stick broken too. Oh, that was Jake Percival coming in zone. He gets a new weapon from Tony Denzer, and the shot goes off the referee and off the corner boards right side of the Swamp Rabbits third. Behind the net, Michael Mastrodomenico resets. 9:20 left in the game, and it's 7-4. Bison with the lead.
On the other side is Zeri's stick. Zeri broke his on that shift, and Percival broke it on that one. So they've got all kind of lumber down in the offensive zone.
Parker Lindauer stymied over the Swamp Rabbits blue line. Here come the Swamp Rabbits the other way. O'Hara from Mastrodonato, and Mastrodonato's hammered off the puck by Kyler Wall. O'Hara throws his weight around. Puck comes free. Stolen by Shea. Zip cross ice. Taken by Rigo on the left wall. Rigo powers by his aggressor. Up to the blue line. Murray caught between a rock and a hard place and then makes a great defensive stand. Lakotsi out of his net to play the puck. And he finds Ryan O'Hara. O'Hara for Shea. Onside. Shea to the right wall looking for an option. Flings it down low. Back door. Oh my! A kick save from McKay. That was Parker Berg who snuck behind everyone. And it stays 7-4 Bloomington with 8.5 left.
What a sweet pass that was to that back door.
And now it's Lovell on his horse. Lovell for Galt. Shot deflected high off the glass. It stays in play. We've had a lot of continuous action here, partner, and the Bison try to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that clock is working against us now. We had it, and we just couldn't get in there. 8 minutes left.
Denny Gore works it around the horn. Puck bounces to Grant Porter. Porter maneuvers away from Ben Poisson. Puck takes a roll up to the blue line, and the Bison have to re-enter. Riku Ishida, Japanese international, worked up for Sullivan Mack. Mack drops it back for Ishida. Turns on now to Porter. Porter down low, has Gore looking in front, and Lakotsi got there in time, and he jumps on the puck.
Wow, Lakotsi has had a couple of great saves this period, and that was a good one too. And I think with all that, now we'll take a timeout.
We'll take a step aside and come right back with 7:41 left in the game. The Swamp Rabbits trail by 3 on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, Greenville County was the #1 county for reported trafficking cases in the state. Tomorrow. Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward Ryan O'Reilly. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
If you think a ticket deal for watching this broadcast is cool, how about an e-commerce deal?
Yes.
By watching tonight's game, you've unlocked a special online discount. Enter the code Palmetto, P-A-L-M-E-T-T-O, at checkout at swamprabbits.shop to redeem a special discount off your purchase. You know the drill by now. The offer ends when the game ends, and we have 7:41 left in regulation.
What was that in our ear again?
Oh, that, yeah, we're on Bits Prime here. Go figure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got all kind of prime stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Deion Sanders. It's prime time, baby.
Blocker side of Simon Lakotsi, we go.
That's prime time save by Lakotsi. Right there on the tech replay.
Lakotsi, in relief for the Swamp Rabbits, has made 20 saves on 23 shots. He's played almost the full game. Pierce Charleston went 12 minutes and a second of the start. It's been Lakotsi's net ever since. Talk about an interesting pro debut. O'Reilly through traffic, got a bounce in front, off the blue line, Prouty lets it go, and it gets deflected into the mesh. Joe Prouty could see his first pro goal right there, but he's gonna have to wait. It's 7-4 Bison with 7:20 left in the game.
Oh, he loaded that thing up like a rocket launcher. He was coming in with a purpose and just couldn't get there in time.
Joe Prouty, 6'1", 203 from Apple Valley, Minnesota. All 203 went into that shot for the former Michigan Tech Husky.
Apple Valley, Minnesota. That's a great name for you.
Left side of Dryden McKay, we go. He is from Downers Grove, Illinois. That's an interesting name there, too. Face-off won by O'Reilly. Lovell with the spinorama, evasive maneuver. Down to the corner, looking for Josh Zary. Zary pinched off the puck, comes down behind the net. 2-on-2 battle forms. Zary tries to get out of the pile-up. John Parker Jones tied up with his man, and the puck comes back to the Bison. Quickly up the ice, it's Sullivan Mack. Mack dumps it down behind Lakatsy's net. Lakatsy off the back wall. Puck takes a bounce, comes to Tim Lovell. He returns fire the other way. Zary chipped high off the glass out to center, gloved down by the 6'7" frame of Parker Jones. Prouty gives chase well off the blue line, and the Bison try to exit. 6:40 left in the game. 7-4 the Bison lead. If the Swamp Rabbits can get a quick one here, who knows?
This period has been more physical, too. We've heard these glasses, the glass just rocking, and I think that is a sign of things to come in these next couple of games against them.
Keep in mind, tomorrow is off. Saturday and Sunday, both of these teams do the dance all over again. Here comes Brackett behind the attacking net. He's denied passage. O'Hara fights in the corner for control. Puck bounces away from Jake Percival. Off the glass, took a weird bounce, stays in zone. O'Hara's there. O'Hara with the lane, fired down low, deflected by Percival, and it goes wide of the net. Murray rotates back. Brackett into his spot. Swims by one. Nice maneuver there. Played for Murray down in the left corner. Drop back for Brackett to the net front. Poked away by McKay. Brackett retrieval. Mastrodomenico with a shot knocked away. And O'Hara couldn't get to the rebound quick enough. Oh my.
He got to the rebound. He just couldn't pull it back. The geometry wouldn't let him.
Here comes Percival again on the re-entry. Mastrodomenico gets tripped up, and the Swamp Rabbits back to the power play with 5:40 left in regulation and a chance to cut the deficit to 2.
You know, it'll be interesting on this timeout that we have to think about it. Is this a time that you go 6-on-4?
It very well could be. That is for head coach and general manager Chad Costello to decide. We'll be right back with the end of regulation on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Hey hockey fans, want to join a team that's making a difference in people's lives? Arthrex is hiring. They develop innovative technologies that help treat orthopedic sports injuries around the world and right here in your community. Learn new skills in clean, high-tech environment with many exciting amenities and benefits, including a sign-on bonus, free lunch, free on-site medical care, attractive shift schedules, and on-site child care center. Check out available jobs at careers.arthrex.com. That's careers.arthrex.com. No manufacturing experience required. Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
This is Swamp Rabbits forward, Jack Brackett. Let's get back to the action on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network.
Don't forget, fans, to join us on Saturday for Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Floor. We get to give thanks to the best fans in the ECHL with a party like no other. Get a second chance at select 8 giveaways from the season and get your tickets at swamprabbits.com. South Carolina Education Lottery Powerball Power Play number 2 for the Swamp Rabbits with 5.5 left in the game. The puck is cleared down, and Lakatsy, oh no! He almost knocked it into his own net. Whoa.
Good thing we're not playing 6-on-4.
No kidding. Lou Felix Denis lost control of the puck in the neutral zone. Swamp Rabbits go back to work. O'Hara bumped off the puck as it's taken down into the corner. Mikhail Abramov files it the remaining length of the ice, all the way back behind Lakatsy's net. 5 minutes left in the game. Swamp Rabbits on their second power play for 80 more seconds. Here comes Rigo through neutral ice. Onside, threads it to the left for O'Hara. O'Hara pulls the e-brake. Bank pass to the blue line. Has a man, threaded down now for O'Hara. O'Hara back up the wall. Takes it now for Rigo. Rigo shades to the right, drops off for Shea. At the point, Smirnoff, left corner. Smirnoff looking for an option, takes it behind the net. To the right corner, threads it for Mastrodonato on the right wall. Right back to Smirnoff. Smirnoff, blue line, Rigo, D to D. Left side it's Shea. Shea down behind the net. Smirnoff has the bumper, and O'Hara couldn't get a clean shot. 40 seconds left. Rigo back to Mastrodonato. Rigo fakes the shot. Right side, waits, and it's Mastrodonato on the wall. Back to Rigo. Left side it's Shea once more. Shea for Rigo. Waits, hands off. Mastrodonato looked for the redirect, and he got O'Hara, but it went off track. Rigo again. Mastrodonato fires. He scores! It's a power play goal! Keaton Mastrodonato with a glove side snipe. And with 4:01 left in the game, the deficit is cut to 7-5.
Woo! Mastro is bringing the heat these games. He's got a sniper scope on that stick, and he is just finding the back of the net. And all of a sudden, the Tatakas have given the Rabbits life. That's what we want to see. Here we go.
The Swamp Rabbits batting 1,000 on the power play. 2 for 2 tonight. Keaton Mastrodonato adds to his career high with number 26 at 15:59 of the final period.
That's what you're hunting for if you're coach. What do you got in you? Dig down deep. 4:01 left, down 2. Let's see if we get another one back.
4 minutes left in the game. Hey, partner, you never know. Let's see what we've got. Ryan O'Reilly back inside his own zone. O'Reilly button hooks back and takes it at the blue line. O'Reilly led on ahead. Finds a man, and the puck is sent on deep. Puck intercepted by O'Reilly. Left side, up to the blue line. Berg with a drive to the net front. Parker Jones denied by McKay. This place would have erupted if he banked it in.
Oh, now we're starting to see the emotions come out. I love it, partner. JPJ was down there playing mini golf with the puck, just couldn't get it past McKay. And all of a sudden, you see the armor, chinks in the armor of the Bison.
Blocker side of McKay we go.
Century friendly game, April 19th coming up.
That'll be a great game, and you'll hear a testimonial from John Parker Jones next week on what that game means to him personally. His brother Josh with some sensory sensitivities, and he got to graciously share that story with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tim Lovell takes the puck back at the blue line. 3.5 left. The Swamp Rabbits down by 2. Back it comes to Parker Lindauer. And the Bison exit at the red line, flung wide of Lakatsy's blocker side. Parker Berg there, played off the back wall. It's O'Reilly. O'Reilly settles it on down and drops it back for Lovell. 3:10 left in the game. We'll keep an eye on Lakatsy to see if he goes for the extra skater. Lovell builds up speed in his own zone. Lovell to the forehand of Parker Berg. He's denied passage, and the Swamp Rabbits quickly have to work back. Lakatsy backhands it up the wall. Berg banks it up, looking for Milburn. Milburn up the far side. Banked on out to center and taken back by Sung-Jae Lee on a rim all the way back into Swamp Rabbit territory. Berg up ahead, cross ice pass, deflects on down. Sung-Jae Lee lost it on a bounce. Poisson almost got behind him. 2:35 left in the game. Lakatsy plays it for Rigo, and now the Swamp Rabbits really have to get up the ice and get him on the bench for the extra attacker.
Absolutely, they got to get in the zone and start taking control of this puck. Right now, it's been the time of possession all in the Bison favor.
Sung-Jae Lee still has it inside his own third. Puck takes a high bounce, glove down by Rigo. Down the left side, Shea advances it off the back wall. Sung-Jae Lee takes his time with 2:10 left in the game. The Swamp Rabbits trail by 2, trying to pull off a comeback from down 5. Puck comes all the way around, back to Lindauer, sent behind the Swamp Rabbits net. He didn't get a piece of it at the red line. They're gonna say it's icing against Bloomington with 2:02 to play. The Swamp Rabbits down 2, and Lakatsy on cue goes to the bench.
Yeah, there you go. I would not be surprised if we don't see the lineup, and maybe they talk about a timeout, maybe they don't. Lakatsy is gonna go over there and talk to Pearson. What a good job coming off the bench. It's just been a high scoring.
The only reason I think they're holding on to the timeout was because it's icing, so they can't change. Keep the tired legs out there.
That's right.
Puck played off the glass out through center, and Lovell takes over. It's an empty net for the Swamp Rabbits. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. They trail 7-5. Do they have 2 more in them in the next 110 seconds? Here comes O'Hara at the blue line, and they say offside against the Swamp Rabbits with 104 to play.
And then Lakatsy will go back to the net.
Right. You can't take the chance, even though it's the far side of the neutral zone. Or no, are they saying, yeah, it's the far side of the neutral zone.
Right.
You don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go Pink Floyd on me in the far side of the moon. No, it's the far side of the neutral zone. Call that the Artemis. How about the Artemis drop? We'll call that. That's where we'll go with it.
In front of the Bison bench, Denny Gore and Ryan O'Hara. Lakatsy back in the net. We're playing 5-on-5 again. O'Hara wins the draw. Tim Rigo with it at the blue line. Maneuvers on in. He dropped off the puck. Lakatsy was between the hash marks. He didn't get there. 90 seconds left. Lackatsy stays in his net for now. Tim Lovell on his horse, led up ahead through the neutral zone. Nice maneuver. Smirnoff onside. Now Lackatsy to the bench for the extra skater. An empty net for the Swamp Rabbits. Shea, right side, bank to the blue line. Rigo sends it down low. Shea, back for Tim Lovell. 75 seconds left. Lovell gives way to Shea. Shea, back to Lovell. Lovell hangs on, unwinds, fakes now with Shea. Slapped on down. Smirnoff, backdoor, had him in. Puck settled. Rigo, a shot. Stopped in the net front.
Oh, somebody took a stick to the face.
Oh my, and the empty net, Sullivan Mack. That's a hard miss in the net front with two referees staring at it. And it's O'Hara, I believe, that caught it.
Yeah, and Coach Costello does not like that at all. That was a deliberate stick to the face. And they scored on the empty net, 8-5, 54.7 seconds. O'Hara seems no worse for the wear, making his way back to the bench where Jocelyn Stillwell, our trainer, will take a look at that mug.
19:05, the time of the empty netter for Sullivan Mack. That was a heck of a rally, partner. You just hate to see that it just came up short.
Yeah, I really did, but I like to see the fight. We finally saw the fight that we've been looking for in that third period. It's going to be interesting Saturday and Sunday here at the Well to see if that fight continues to come.
Back-to-back games that the relieving goaltender will take the loss. Simon Lackatsy in his pro debut, I know not how he drew it up, but he will take the loss having been out there for the go-ahead strike. The 6th goal for the Bison.
Where Pierce Charleston says, welcome to the club. He did the same thing last night, I believe.
Exactly right. He suffered the loss after taking over for Isaiah Seville. 15 seconds left in the game. Prouty shot deflected, blockered away by McKay. Back to Master Domenico. Blue line comes to Poisson for a shot, and it's smothered by McKay. And now some post-whistle shenanigans to the blocker side of McKay's net. And that's Brendan Datema in the mix.
Brendan Datema, no stranger to the Well, played for Atlanta last year. Now playing with Bloomington. It's interesting to see that. You know, we talked about a little bit the assistant coach for Bloomington, Philip Barsky, who was with us for a few years here under the tutelage of Coach Lord. And we talked about the two players, McKay being one of them, and McDonald being the other.
Barsky, actually the head coach of the Bison, was an assistant for the Swamp Rabbits.
I got that reversed, yes.
In 2021 and 2022. And that's going to do it here. So the Bison, in their playoff hopes, pick up a massive 2 points. And the Swamp Rabbits fall in a wild one. 8-5, the final score, featuring 3 professional debuts. 2 of them were scripted. The other one, Simon Lackatsy coming in relief.
It was a wild one, and it got even wild in the third period there. You can see the Rabbits giving Lackatsy some daps, if you will, for, I think, playing strong. I think he came in and played well. This is just one of those kind of games that's just crazy.
13 goals in this game. Wild, no doubt about that. And Lackatsy and Charleston, they both meet just before they come off the playing surface, and that's great for the two of them. A tough one for Charleston in the start, and you made the great point earlier with goaltenders in relief that hockey is the sport compared to baseball where the bullpen, the relieving pitcher can warm up. In hockey, the relieving goaltender can't. So you have to play at the top of your game while ice cold. And I think Lackatsy handled it as well as he could.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always an interesting dynamic for me to see the backup goaltender come in because they really can't even stretch. If you're a reliever in baseball, you can warm up, you get that arm in motion. If you're a goaltender, you come in cold, and you better be playing at the top because it is coming. And so we'll see that. A lot of people traveling with Bloomington, and I saw a lot of Bloomington fans here coming to visit the deep south, Greenville, South Carolina. And it's interesting to watch other teams and how they travel.
Well, we
had
will.
A good crew with South Carolina when they went down there.
We did, yeah. We had almost 100 people that had come on down. So awesome to see that from the Swamp Rabbits faithful. We will take a step aside and come right back with the end of our broadcast. Swamp Rabbits fall in a wild one, 8-5, the final against the Bloomington Bison. We'll be right back on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network, presented by Bon Secours.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2020